And a good day to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the European Pro League Season 39. I'm Base Defender, and in front of us, we have Nemiga versus Team Aion. As we are going to be having four series, well, actually, no, not four series. It's going to be 3 series during this day with a little bit of a longer pause because we're going to have a big gap between the matches. But as you can see, as I already said, it's Nemiga Gaming and Team Aion, as we are seeing right now, kicking off at about 12 o'clock and 13 minutes CST. Habibi's afterwards with Balu team at 6 o'clock CST, and Team Spirit Academy with RE Arise, recently renamed from Cheeky Bamboni, at 9 o'clock in the evening. So, without any further ado, let's kick in with the draft. Aion. They're gonna open things up with Bane, Hoodwink, Doom, and Luna. So far, so good. It's an interesting draft that they're cooking up. Very glass cannony, but I do like Doom being present. I do like the Bane, 2 heroes that can deliver a very good hard lockdown onto other heroes mid-team fight and pretty much negate them all the way through. Nemiga, though, they're opting in for a lot of healing so far. Treant Protector is going to be their first pick with Techies and a Largo as their third. So it's a little bit of a slow cooking combo, but we have yet to see what the remaining of the cores will be. So Largo, well, given the fact that there's already 2 supports, this is going to be a pause 3, even though we have seen him in a couple of situations as pause 4, which it tends to be good. I mean, you're getting the best benefits out of the Frog Stomp, you're getting the aura build up, you're getting, you know, the bardic inspiration all around to make things a lot easier for you, but you're not necessarily throwing all of the attention onto him as a pause 3, because you always have to balance out a lot of things as an offlaner. You need to tank, you need to initiate, you need to do a lot of things to make everything complete. You're basically, like, you're pause 3, you're in the middle of everything, and you need to glue everything all together, or at least that's what I'm always hoping for when I'm seeing an offlaner. But, you know, there's always these different situations, because you gotta come out of the laning stage very strong, because afterwards, if you're having a shaky laning stage, you're never gonna live out to see the fruits of your labor. So, and that could be a problem for this Luna, because there's already a lot of heavy lockdown, a lot of ways to mitigate her damage, but she's fast. She can get to those items at an insanely rapid fashion, and she's got a very good protection team so far for her, so I always appreciate the Hoodwink, and it's always going to be my top favorite hero for a lot of players across a lot of tournaments as well, because this hero hasn't been, it's not banned out that much as it's being picked up, and it's always having a very high win rate, and it just proves to show. Fast support, very evasive, huge lockdown, a very huge burst of damage coming in with the sharpshooter. What else can you hope for? And you already have 1 hero on the lockdown, so you can very easily synergize between the Fiend's Grip alongside with the sharpshooter. So that's gonna be either the Treant or the Largo taken out of the picture, because currently those are your biggest targets that you should be fearing about if you are Team Aion. Nemiga, they're getting the Wind Ranger as their 4th pick, so which is most likely gonna be the carry here. And it's interesting to see a lot of these standard carries got banned out in run number 2. Lone Druid is always gonna be within the first bracket, but then we had the Shadow Fiend, we had the Drow Ranger coming in. Muerta is gonna be taken out as well, which not really sure if this was a Team Aion specialty or some of the players were playing it. By the way, a proper introduction for Team Aion. This is the first time they're playing on the tournament. A lot of names that we are indeed familiar of. I'm not really sure if they've played in the same composition on either team, but I do feel like we've seen this combination before. So it's Retsu, it's Called Off, it's Takizawa, it's Excess Vampire that we've seen a lot of seasons before, and we have Atomic, which I don't think I've seen Atomic before, so he might as well be a newcomer, but I could be completely wrong, because there's always, you know, this huge pool of immortal players that tend to mix and match. Somebody stays for a couple of days, somebody just jumps in as a substitute in the very last second, so he might as well has appeared, but way under my radar. But with that being said, Nemiga, they are a familiar team, which I do believe they were playing during season, actually no, they weren't playing season 38. This team is basically like skipping 2 seasons, then comes back, skips 2 seasons, comes back, but it's all for a good reason. They're sometimes contending for those tier 1 championships. They're looking really good. And to top things off, last but not least, we have Invoker brought into the mix by Nemiga. As always, you're getting the control, you're getting a huge burst of damage, but it kind of feels like this draft might be a little bit off, but at the same time, the team fight potential is absolutely insane. You have the overgrowth, you do have the frog stomps, you do have the bardic inspiration, well, the amphibian rhapsody, but I like calling it bardic inspiration. It feels a lot more appropriate in the midst of battle. And then we have invoker on top of things. So I do like how Nemiga can play this as a unison. It's just those pickoffs that are feeling a little bit problematic, but at the same time, you don't really need to worry as much because Luna is ultimately a really squishy hero, so you can just mind your own business, leave her to her own bidding, pay her a visit a couple of times during the laning stage to make sure that she doesn't overextend, and you could have a good game overall. Last but not least, it's gonna be Honka picked up by Team Aion. A little bit of a counter control on their end. So it's gonna be Koldov bringing him in as a mid laner. And Koldov, he's been switching between roles across multiple tournaments. Like, he used to play Pause 1, I think he played Pause 3 at one point as well. But in this scenario, he's gonna retain his position as number 2. Vivo on to Hoodwink, which I do believe it was Excess Vampire. Or it may not be, you know, there can always be these last minute switches, these last minute substitutes. Overall, I'm still sticking by the notion that the Bane and the Doom combo are insanely strong. Hoodwink for the fast-paced lockdowns and Kunkka for the quick resets, so there's definitely a very good pick-off potential coming in from Aion, but that lacking right-click damage is gonna be problematic. Luna, she's gonna need a lot of time, and if things are good, you can always just double down on the damage items. Just damage, 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 and you have nothing to worry about. But you have an Invoker on the other side. You have Shackles coming in from the other side. You gotta focus on that BKB as soon as possible because your teamfight survivability is absolutely gonna be not. And as much as you try to throw in, there's always gonna be that huge healing output coming in from Nemiga with the combined forces of the Treant and on the Largo. So there you have it. A little bit more of a teamfight focused draft compared to a little bit more of a pick-off focused draft. Early game presence for Aion might be shaky, which they gotta keep it in check. They gotta keep things as balanced out as much as they can because later on Nemiga can potentially stomp them down. Largo is always gonna need a lot of time, and I'm always curious about how his itemization is gonna work out ever since the Scepter Prio has been taken out. So you gotta focus on 2 other items, maybe some additional healing, maybe... I mean, not sure if you want to go for the Distillers on a Pause 3, but maybe Janter is going to go for it instead. I love the fact that Distillers is a... Well, it's still not fully prioritized over the Haldi Locket. Like, there's a lot of heroes, I mean, people and players still picking it up. But you just want to keep on fighting. That's the main notion. You gotta keep that item charged up to the maximum. Team Aion, they're gonna divide from the bottom portion of the map and move across the gate, but with 3 only on the horizon, they might intercept 4 heroes from Nemiga. Ooh, this could be scary. Eventually, Nemiga smoke will expire. Atomic, closing in the gap. Smoke detected. Self-hate. Oh, they have a big target. If they get a full lockdown and execution, this could be a great start for Aion, but they're gonna get completely surrounded. Instant bushwhack, locking Janter and Self-hate all together. Takizawa, he doesn't have the damage, but he is dealing still enough with the combined mind of the supports as Janter. He's gonna fall as first blood. Well, they didn't get Self-hate, but they got a little bit more of a static target dummy of a hero. But a good start for Aion, regardless. And on the other side, we did have Koldov appearing because, of course, he's always gonna need to protect mid lane. But it's gonna be tough. And even Invoker just going in for the Sunstrikes. Young G. We've seen this guy on Invoker a lot of times. But you gotta be careful because there's always that Tidebringer problem. And you don't want to get cleaved down. Thankfully, I mean, you do have a little bit of a amplification in terms of region. Yep, now he's gonna go in for the Quas. You need the sustain, you need to stay up, you need to farm, and not let Kunkka do whatever the hell he wants. With a solid victory for topside, Janter will need to fear now the might of Takizawa. And, well, I still think that this is Excess Vampire, but I'm not 100% sure. The best part for him, though, is he did not get stricken by the Bane last. And that means you're not gonna have that stacking debuff from the Ichor of Natasha. I mean, 5 terrors in total, up to 25% status resistance. That could be disgusting. But you gotta provide us some more atomic. You gotta keep on killing. Bottom side, though, might be scary. I mean, ultimately looking at both Retsu and atomic, they're really squishy and solely dependent on what the Nightmare has to offer. And at the same time, as a support, you need to pull the waves, you need to help out from the sides, which is something that Ariel definitely thrives on, even though so far he's looking a little bit harmless with the reactive taser, which is not necessarily punishing anybody big time because you're not punishing any big right-click damage with the disarm. But once the blast off or the sticky bomb comes in, ooh, beautiful double jump setup into the frog stop, sticky lick, catchy lick, taking him on the back, and the sunstrike for the kill, atomic. They're gonna take away the support from Retsu, leaving him all there for the taken. Of course, he's not gonna fall off that fast, given that he's right under the tower. But ultimately, it is a proof of concept that Nemiga's lanes are a lot more stronger compared to their first blood potential. Young G, well, not looking too fantastic, even though he's trying to solidify a couple of last hits and denies here and there. But it's been tough for him to get the good farm for himself. Still a lot of back and forth as always, and as expected between the mid laners. Top side, Vevo, or Vivo, is gonna get power shot and taken down. Nicely done by Self-Hate. Janter able to frontline all of that incoming damage right under the tower, and Retsu down bottom. Ooh, that's a big one. That's indeed a big kill. 3-1 so far for Nemiga. Completely destroying their happiness and celebration after that first blood. In terms of last hits, well, of course, and with the downtime right now, Self-Hate is going to get a little bit of an extra advantage. He should be careful, though, as the Bushwhack Acorn Shot combination got popped off. And nope, of course. It was going to be either before the timer or right about now that we're going to be seeing a good old pause. Unfortunately, there's a lot of coordinator issues. I mean, this patch completely destroyed the game. And we're seeing pauses pretty much everywhere. No, it's not good when ready. Takizawa disconnected on the other side. You just broke his game with that F9, my dude. Maybe, you know, you just needed to check something in the background or open the door for a delivery, but somebody else is suffering indeed. And hopefully it's not gonna be lasting for a long time. Doom so far, well, he is still happy about the fact that he got the first blood, but in terms of farming, he's not necessarily suffering a lot, but he is at the bottom of the CS. Retsu, of course, with the downtime, him being dead, it did allow for Self-Hate to get a little bit of an extra farm, but it's still too early to call the shots. We haven't even reached the minute 4 mark, but Nemiga, they're already satisfying our 1 kill per minute standard, so at the very least we are seeing action, and I mean, they were ready. Yep. Alles gut. Let's keep on going. Extra gold for cold off. If you're not getting them creeps, you're gonna get that additional 116 observer rewards. But minus the 100 gold you already spent, so you're just basically getting a third of a creep. To some extent. Torrent, Young G, he's gotta be careful. Already level 3 of the Tidebringer. He is bringing out those extra additions with the Forge Spirits and amping up with those denies. I mean, you cannot neglect that. You know, getting those couple of hits here and there. But cold off, he's already 23 CS. And Retsu, as he's back amongst the living, he is about to get to 30. Top side, we're hearing a lot of pings as Self-Hate or Jantor might be the next target here, Vevo. He is looking for the setup, but he's a little bit lacking on mana, but he does have the 3 magic stick charges if he wants to use them. Because he's pretty much full HP, just pop that thing. Pop it and set it up. Both Self-Hate and Janter are below 50% HP. There they have it. Janter, Blood Grenade, right under vision. He's gonna fall. Swiftly done. See, he didn't even need to commit the anchored shot. Now we have the techies joining in as well. Just to maintain the lane control. He's not gonna do anything too spectacular here. He's just gonna take away the catapult. I mean, sure. On the other end, though, Atomic, he is lingering, he is lurking, and he's anticipating for a grab. But currently, Nemiga, they're just a little bit more around that triangle. Janter, though, he's gotta be careful because he's walking right under vision. He thought he's gonna get the sentry, but nope, it's completely out of range. Thankfully, he's tanky. He's gonna survive that primary onslaught. Sticky Grenade, though, closing in. Sunstrike, everything, the Nightmare. Oh, it almost dodges the Sunstrike. Janter still leading the siege, but he might regret this. Beautiful Shackle, keeping him protected. Atomic, still within range, and Brain Sap for the kill. Beautifully done. Oh, a little bit of a miss there, but nothing to worry about. Aion, they even out the score after this intrusion. Towards 3-3, and the fact that they're gaining those benefits around top side, it's pretty good. Janter taken down 3 times already. Oof. The overgrowth is going to be far too late. Ariel gets trampled upon as well. Takizawa looking low. Ooh, Soundstrike into the jungle, but the power shot. Ooh, nicely done by Self-Hate. It was so scary for a split second there. But yeah, if they're looking to prolong the overgrowth, we're gonna at least try to slow down the Doom. Bane, did he... Yep, he did manage to inflict 1 Ichor of Natasha during that siege. Ariel, yep, he got 1 as well. So support's in a tough spot, but this last exchange, it did favor Self-Hate mostly. Because as a Wind Ranger, you're always gonna have that right balance between being able to go in for your early executions and, you know, provide some decent amount of farm. Once she gets the Maelstrom, things are gonna be 10 times better, but now it's time for the Focus Fire. And Focus Fire might be used up towards mid as Bevo. Cold off. Oh, Atomic. Nice tornado catch. The Conka. Oh, but the Bushwhack in the back. But Young G and Ariel are going to be connected, but they're going to walk out from the Ghost Ship and the Torrent. And nicely done. A full-blown team commitment coming in from Nemiga just for that Conka takedown. But at the same time, they did waste a lot of resources for the setup. If only they had the Luna there, it would have been a lot better. But there was that slight miscommunication there. The Bushwhack setup was so freaking good, catching Ariel and Young Ji all together. But the Ghost Ship with the Torrent were a little bit too late, so this might have been your reset here. But ultimately, I think there was a lot of panic. The Aion did not anticipate how many units were gonna arrive around the mid lane. Down bottom, Retsu completely left on its own, which is a problem waiting to happen. But of course, you could allow her to have about 10 minutes of ongoing farming and downtime, because when you make those early rotations, she's still, you know, she's still bleeding. But instead, we're gonna see the rotation coming up top instead. It's gonna be Aion, who... Well, the smoke did not last for too long, but we still have Atomic scouting in the backlines. If they're not getting kills, at least they can set up some deep vision. Janter, lurking invisible, trying to make things a little bit better. Level 2 off the living armor so far. I mean, this is by far the most broken healing spell in the entire game. Aeon's global beat targets freaking buildings. It doesn't get any better than that. And I'm not sure if they still have... I think it was a level 25 talent for the Lich. Once he pops the shield onto towers, it can heal them up. Ooh, Dust Catch. Nice find. Realizing there's nobody there, there still technically might be somebody present. But they're having a tough time taking him down. Still, it's gonna be enough damage for the takedown without committing the Doom. Down bottom, though, a bigger problem. Covis 9 joins forces with Ariel for the the red suit takedown. They may have lost a pos 5, but they took a pos 1 instead. But this tower, can they take it out before he comes back amongst the living? It's already level 3 of the living armor, so it might be a little bit tough for Atomic. Self-hate, Janter, no, they're gonna show up, but they're not using that. He had a very good shackle angle from here. If he wanted to just latch onto this tree, it would have been absolutely great. But at the same time, there's this double vision from both ends, so they're not just gonna risk it as easily. Cold off. Arcane Rune, up and ready to go. He's got the ship. He's got the level 4 of the Tidebringer, and he's got Janter dead and gone already. So ultimately, it may have been a little bit of a time waste. The team eventually takes down the tower, which is gonna be the first tower of the game, nearing the 11-minute mark. Retsu. He once again has that breather. With the Mask of Madness, things are gonna be sped up for just a little bit. But Kovis9, he's looking to keep Retsu reminded that he shouldn't get too comfortable here on the Luna. But even if he does get overly comfortable, there's also Takizawa having a very strong lane. 3-1-3 so far, 100% kill participation, and halfway through completing the Blink Dagger. So making things a little bit more closer and personal. Janter, even with that 5-time takedown, he's still willing to fight and he's still focused. They got the Doom shackled up with the focus fire. Big trade. It's just these small victories for Nemiga because, I mean, Janter died 5 out of the 6 times that Aion have obtained kills, and that's just one hero being very super focused down every single time. Nemiga, they've gotten a variety of kills. They've gotten Retsu, they've gotten Takizawa, they've taken down everybody at least once, just to keep things in check. But they cannot keep a focus on to everyone, that's for sure. Janter now, Overgrowth, up and ready to go. And of course, he's gonna just go down his favorable terrain and try to hunt down Retsu. But he may have been spotted out here looking at how far Retsu is venturing back. Or maybe he's just willing to go in for bigger camps to get those monies a little bit faster. But rest assured, Nemiga, they're not gonna waste any time lingering down bottom. And they're gonna look for a tower. Meanwhile, topside, Big Doom committed for a big target. Takizawa. He got to face the focus fire earlier, but guess what? I got a Doom ready, and that thing's a little bit stronger. Down bottom, as Janter was sieging the tower for way too long of a time. Everybody else from Aion is gonna join in, try to take him down. Janter looking low. He doesn't have mana, he doesn't have life. And he's just gonna splish splash in the fountain for about 20 seconds. Good interventions coming in from Aion across both lanes. They got the big kill, and that is self-hate. But at the same time, things might not look so horrendous. Oh, focus fire, instant setup. He was looking for the grip, but he's not gonna get it. Look at Ariel with that bombardment. Eventually, he's gonna go for the grip, but that was a very awkward mistake, realizing that there's heroes lingering on the other side. Maybe they don't have a lockdown, but they're packing some damage. Curious to see how much Ariel dealt there. Well, 1.5k. Absolutely brilliant. Takizawa lingering on the side, as he's not happy that Nemiga are taking away his farm. But he's still devouring a creep. And he's still missing out on the blink, so that is making still Nemiga's life quite easy. Doom available in 30 seconds though, so they gotta be careful around that one.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Atomic alongside with Vevo. They're going in for the deep vision. Hold off. Lingering a little bit too deep under that tower. Kovis9 put to sleep sharpshooter, but he won't budge. And it's interesting that he's going for this offensive sort of a build. He went in for the Kaya first. Now he's gonna go in for the BKB and go in for the full Sanjin Kaya upgrade. And then opt in for the good old Scepter. I like it. I don't like that. Like, I like the fact that he's going in aggressively, trying to push his hero forward, not necessarily responding to what Aion currently have. Because 8-8 with 2k, you are still keeping things balanced out. So Aion, they've had a good start, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be good enough. They get Genter though. Doom committed for a pos 5. It's just, again, these small victories that are keeping them in the game. They are providing space and time for the Luna. But I'm still scared of what's gonna happen a little bit later. Because Nemiga, they're not fully pushed in. They've only lost one tower. They're keeping things balanced out. Yep, Self-Hate he did die once. But he's still proactive. He still jumps in to get hero kills. So that's a good sign. And eventually, Nemiga, they're just waiting for their healing to get online to make things a lot better. Because again, when it comes down to a 5v5, these guys could be absolutely insane. Meanwhile, Covis 9, Ariel joining forces, blast off, Sunstrike into the minefield. Retsu never knew what struck him down. One day I was just walking down my lane, doing my own farming, and suddenly there's a blast off coming in from one side, Sunstrike from out of the skies, and it made my day absolutely horrible. Pulled off, Janter is gonna get the boat, but they're not gonna keep him on the spot for long enough to execute. Alrighty, Aeon's lack of damage problem is starting to show, even though they had enough damage for that first blood, which I was not anticipating, but also they had the right sandwich across Janter. So, he's been the punching target dummy for the team for this entire game. He's finally gonna get around to make the Arcane's boots at least. So that's gonna be a little bit of something.
Dire are scanning.
Down bottom, Covis 9. Oh, they just find Atomic. Maybe in the hopes again of finding a Luna. But regardless, a kill's a kill. And Covis 9 is currently 204, along with Young G being 304. Let's check out the items onto this guy. It's Boots of Travel already completed with the Meme Hammer. That, I mean, yesterday all day, I realized that you can play bot matches to progress into the event. And I've held a Meme Hammer for more times in more games than I've ever wanted to, so now I'm feeling just a tad traumatized. Janter once again under siege. They're setting up for the sharpshooter. But, oh, he's gonna get doomed out eventually. Takizawa commits for the jump. Well, yeah, they had that earlier vision over there. But maybe he just appeared for a split second. Regardless, times after times again, it's the same story for the past 18 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. What's happening? Aion is farming, and then they're gonna go for a kill. Who is it gonna be? It's gonna be Janter. Okay. We're fine with this. We're keeping the lead. We're keeping Luna in the backlines doing whatever the hell she wants. Hopefully Nemiga are not gonna do anything about this, but actually... Oh, they almost got Takizawa! Oh, that was so freaking insane. Not even sure if he knew what was going on there. But he just rolls back into farming. I have no time to waste. I don't have a Doom. That doesn't mean I have to fight right now. I'm just gonna roll back, protect my carry, and just farm. You know, I don't need anything else right now. Covis 9, nearing completion of that BKB. This is a very good timing for the Largo. Do we have the BKB coming in for self-hates? The recipe is a little bit far away. Young G, what do we have queued up? It is going to be the Octarine Core, a little bit of... Well, not a little bit, I mean 25% cooldown reduction. It does do you wonders when you're having long cooldown spells, but when you're having short cooldown spells, it makes things a lot easier and a lot more annoying during the team fights. Can we see? No, unfortunately, we cannot see all of the cooldowns at the same time. But yeah, eventually it's gonna get a lot worse. Yeah, they just show it like this. Okay, sure. I can live with that. "20 minutes in. It is a small net worth difference favoring Aion so far by 2k,
Tower is under attack.
which is completely negligible. Both sides, they're active on farming majorly unless they find a pick-off or two. On one end, it's mainly Janter being ultra harassed, as one might expect for a Treant. On the other, it's just Nemiga trying to keep things balanced up and waiting for their big draft to get into a better position. As 20 minutes jump in, it is Tormentor number 1 time, so let's see if it's gonna be enough. Everybody on the double. But of course, they're dropping pretty low. Oh, if only Invoker had a Cataclysm right now, but he does have a Sunstrike and a little bit out of position. May have gotten Vivo out of it. But oh, Janter, again, my dude. He's gonna go in for the Overgrowth, but went in way too greedily for the Hoodwink kill, which obviously he never got. It would have been good if they got somebody, but they got nobody. Self-hate. Oh, they're gonna find Takizawa. Instant lockdown. He's trying to pop the Doom, but it's not happening. Vivo, beautiful 3-man lockdown, sharpshooter, but not killing anybody. Aerial, Tornado, Youngji. Oh, Vivo, he secures the Lotus. He will instantly use it, but the catchy lick will take him down. Still, Self-hate is gonna get that last hit, and it's a big streak handed just like that for the Wind Ranger. They're looking for Cold Off next, who's gonna pop the BKB. Unless he uses it, this is gonna be a waste of those 9 seconds. And indeed, that's the case. He gets a lock on Youngjin temporarily. But I don't think... Well, yeah, he was still within vision. Okay, this is definitely a custom name. This is not from the game. Like, every now and then I would find this string in, well, most likely Russian, which is gonna catch me off guard, and I'm like, wait, what? This is not... No, this is not in English. Why? What is this doing here? But possibly, I think you can rename words. I'm not really sure, but that's a subject for a different time. As Smoke Up, nice find. It's gonna be Vivo. Well, pretty much obliterated by the meatball. Youngji ultimately dominating and thinks we want more. We have found more, but they're a little bit out of reach. Atomic just backs off.
Dire's bottom tower
Retsu.
is under attack.
Well, thankfully,
Dire's bottom tower
he does realize that he's not super fast in terms of damage, so he's gonna go in for the BKB of his own. Meanwhile, Takizawa gets scouted out topside, but his TP is on cooldown. He's trying to linger around the trees. The Tornado is gonna catch him right at the edge of it. Should he turn around for at least one Doom? Well, not happening. No target is easy for the taken, and he is gonna get obliterated. 14-11. Nemiga, they're beginning to get a little bit of a kill lead, but it's been the same 2k net worth difference all game long. So, not necessarily changing a lot. Games gives Aion a win probability by 56%. I don't really agree. Either Nemiga have been playing for long enough that I really like this team composition and the way they can be focused around games, or I don't know if there's an or maybe I just like this draft a little bit more, because do not underestimate Largo, do not underestimate a Treant. I mean, Treant, obviously, they don't underestimate him even by the slightest by taking him down 9 times. But again, that's 9 out of 11 from the kills that have been focused on to Gender. Nobody else has suffered from Nemiga. Evo gets caught up, focus fire, sharpshooter attempt for a setup, and ooh, the catchy lick. Nicely done. Meanwhile, down bottom, Retsu gets caught up by the Tornado meatball. He's trying to pop the glaives, trying to pop the ulti. He's being forced back into the mines. They are looking to save him, but he's dropping low. The power shot. Oh, it's gonna get him. Nicely done. Time after time again, Self-hate is delivering these beautiful skill shots to claim the kill. Called off Takizawa, Atomic in the back lanes. They still have those big ultimates, but they're gonna get bound together into the EMP with the tornado. Ariel jumps in, Shackle, and they just get completely obliterated. Called off, trying to run up and hide, but oh, nope. The TP is gonna get cancelled, and he's not going anywhere. That was pretty much, well, it was a full-blown team wipe just like that. Okay, is Gaben Graf convinced? Yep, it is convinced. Like, one big team fight. It's all it took for Nemiga. Well, they split things out really nicely, and they caught Retsu. Well, they got... Actually, no, my bad. They got the Hoodwink first. So with that, you don't have any of those fast-paced disables coming in mid-team fight, even though he did try to charge up the Sharpshooter, and he got self-hit on the lockdown. That was just a distraction away from Retsu being still out into the open, into the bottom lane. He got tornadoed up, and he just got destroyed. No BKB still present, so that was a very, very big handicap to begin with. The rest was history. Bottom lane completely cleared up. Mid lane is currently under siege from the creeps, but topside is still standing strong for Aion. At least that was one lane that they had a complete domination over. As of course that's, you know, the description when you're having a Doom in play. Really super stable. And of course, Janter situation all game long. But obviously, it was just a cover-up. As Nemiga, now they're ready to strike, now they're ready to inflict as much damage as they can onto this game. Roche claimed 26 minutes in, Self-Hate gets the second life. And Aion, oh, they're grouping up, they're willing to fight into these sages as it looks like. Even though I do believe they were detected from some remote mine. And now they do see Cold Off. Okay, they're just gonna back down unless Takizawa finds a good setup, but if you want to take down Self-Hate, you at least gotta commit one big ultimate for it. But Self-Hate, he's gonna be in the backline, so always. You're gonna either refocus onto Largo or not onto Treant, and that's gonna be a big spell wasted, and still leaving the Wind Ranger in the back with 2 lives. But let's see though. Smoked up, they're ready to fly. It's gonna be Crovus 9 caught up, Grip and Doom both together. Ooh, it feels like a waste. Area is looking at this as an opportunity. Blast off, jumping in, Sunstrike. They're gonna get Atomic. The Sharpshooter is gonna miss the self-hit. He's gonna get a lock onto the Squirrel. Power Shot taking both of the supports out. Definitely a big mistake from Aion. Not sure why they decided to linger that deep in. Maybe they could have found self-hit, but again, you focused 2 big ultimates for 1 big target. And you want to split him in a way, you know? Even though Largo, yeah, he was a good kickoff, but you lost 2 targets right after. And hello, Retsu, how you doing? It's so nice of you to stay here and farm, but we're just gonna waste your big BKB and we're gonna waste your big ultimate. Cold Off. Walking back to check. What is this ruckus? Unfortunately not finding anybody. It's making it hard. It's making things hard for Team Aion to pick and choose their right target because every one of them is currently the wrong target. Double wisdom secured by Nemiga. A lot of extra experience granted to the team. BKB up on Young G. He's gonna go in for the Lincoln Sphere right after. I mean, this guy's had such a free game onto this Invoker. Even though, I mean, the leaning stage was a little bit tough to mitigate the incoming damage from the Tidebringer, but on the long run, Invoker is above Cold Off.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're looking for him. I mean, look at this position from Janter just being the creep in the trench coat. Mid is gonna be taken out. Top is under siege. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Aion, they're lingering a little bit far away from their comfort as Vevo gets caught up and gets completely obliterated. Again, not sure why they were there. Of course, you don't want to think that you're only stuck into the base as Nemiga are pushing in, but at the same time, lingering that far off, it's gonna cause you some troubles, Young G. Ooh, this is scary, but he could get 2 free kills out of this one. As Bane, he's locked onto the Observer outpost. Sunstrike, ooh, for the miss, but Kashyyyk is gonna bring him back. He's gonna burn a little bit from the Flaming Meatball. Regardless, they do secure the kill. They will lose the vision though, but it doesn't matter. You can always get Observer wards for free. If they're available, which I don't think they are currently. Takizawa still trying to farm his little heart out, or at the very least cut the creep wave without being detected, but look at what's happening. Second he appears down the lane, Nemiga are instantly pinging him. Thankfully, he's gonna move to the side. His danger might be lurking. But is there actual danger? Am I just being paranoid? I mean, better be safe than sorry. But you've been staying here, sir, for way too long. Either pop a TP or find somebody to attack. Retsu, oh, this could be bad. Kova's 9, Takizawa. They're looking to commit for the jump. Kova's 9, he's gonna pop the BKB. Ultimately, he is fine. But there's the Doom. He can just walk it out of it. Takizawa, he's still committed, but well, maybe you needed a Fiend's Grip to make sure it was gonna get destroyed. Meanwhile, Retsu, he gets found, running down the lane. He still has the BKB. If things get uber bad, Aegis expires, double shackle catch, nicely done. Atomic is gonna die by the power shot. Once again, cold off, TPing out, but Ariel says no. Beautifully timed jump there with the blast off. They're gonna let Retsu go. But we're gonna get the bigger ones instead, because Retsu cannot do anything without his team. He did pop the ultimate, he did pop the BKB, he did pop everything just to stay alive and maybe facilitate some sort of a high ground defense, but well, the best you can do is the fortification for sure. I was just about to say it. COVID's 9. Strumming those double melodies, making things a lot easier for Self-Hate and Ariel to take down the tower. And it's gonna be a mission success, so focus fire those rags down. The melodies are gonna go first, so no healing rags available anymore. Meanwhile, Young Jin, he is looking for a catch. He is looking for something in the baglines. But Aion, they're not willing to do anything. They don't have the grip, they don't have the Doom. And they don't have the Conka, which is the only big controlling ultimate that you have left remaining. Maybe you can set things up with the Hoodwink, but nope. Self-Hate. He's evasive, he's elusive, he's even got the Alacrity on top of him with the Hydra's Breath. And that's tough. Retsu, are you trying to pretend to be a Nature's Prophet? If you had a TP back home, yeah, it would have worked out. Now you're under chase. What? Is he gonna get through the gate? Oh, no! He's gonna see that tornado coming in, but a little bit far too late. He pops the BKB, tries to go through, and even if he does, nope, he's just gonna get bound to the ground. Pops the ultimate, but far too late. Retsu. Why, my dude? Why did you think for a second that you're a Nature's Prophet that you can just rat out, push towers while at the same time your base is being sieged? It's not happening, not in this lifetime. Second Tormentor secured by Nemiga. And it's gonna be the Mad ability becoming active. I still miss the good old mines. I don't like this Mad ability. I mean, yeah, it's a nice passive for a little bit of a last bang before you know, get destroyed. But it doesn't even remotely have the same feeling when you're stacking all of the mines over here and then just waiting for some hero to come by and get obliterated while they're trying to siege high ground. And it's already tough to siege high ground, make their lives even tougher. But it's not for Self-Hate, obviously. Self-Hate, he's just focused and he just keeps on shooting. Again. with the alacrity and everything, making his life 10 times better. Nice jump, aerial, coming in forward. Catchy lick, atomic. He's gonna get desecrated. Alongside it with the bottom Rex. Aion, they're trying to look for an opening, but they're missing 2 heroes. Retsu, even if he comes back, he's just gonna need to shoot things from the side. Takizawa, he cannot doom her. He only has the Lincoln Sphere up, but maybe, just maybe, if he goes down deep enough, maybe he can make the catch, but instantly he's gonna be the target for the focus fire. Where did the doom go? I mean, not the hero, but the spell. Did it get Lincoln'd? Probably, because I don't see it on any hero. Regardless, that mistake was ancient history, as Megas are secured by Nemiga. And then they can go in for that one final strike. Retsu. They have him. Triple meatballs, trying to BKB out of this one. He's gonna get put to sleep. But he already used up way too much to stay alive. And alive is not the problem here, everything else is the problem. Nemiga, they're slowly clearing out the base. 1 tier 4 already dead, second one under siege. Aion, they cannot move out of the fountain. And even if they get Takizawa back, they're gonna need to stay alive for another 25 seconds, but the Ancient is already under siege. Atomic gets destroyed, forces out the buyback. Hold up. He was looking for a setup, but they're not able to latch on to anybody. Nightmare or somebody, but nobody seems to be dying. Even Jantru, who's been active on the harassment, he's gonna stay alive during the siege. Self-hate, just deleting targets on the spot. And it's gonna be Nemiga obtaining the game, well, the map 1 victory away from Aion. 33/12 with a almost 30k net worth difference in their favor. This was just about time. You know, let them think that they can do whatever they want in the early stages of the game. Let them feel overly comfortable about these heroes, but we know we have the better team, we have the better durability, we have the better synergy, the better composition, better everything compared to them. So let's just wait for them to strike. And they struck once, and Nemiga, they just won everything right afterwards. Like that tier 2 tower team fight, which ultimately led to a team wipe, was just a showcase to prove what were Nemiga working towards, and everything was just smooth sailing from there. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, this series is far from over, so let's see if it's gonna be the same result for game number 2. See you in a bit. And hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with game number 2 between Nemiga Gaming and Team Aion. Game number 1, it was just a matter of time when Nemiga were willing to strike because Aion,
5 seconds.
they had their upper hand, presumably in the earlier stages of the game, but they never had the chance to use it. The only hero that they were able to proactively deliver their pickoffs was onto Janter, but in reality, they didn't harm anybody else. Laning stage was pretty balanced out. The first 20 minutes were balanced out, but that team fight around the tier 2 bottom is what changed the course of the entire game. They caught Retsu in a very easy manner, and they just were trying to focus all of the attention onto self-hate, where the majority of Team Aeon's players were going, but the reality was Youngji was actively harassing Retsu in the bottom lane, as all of those tornadoes, they struck their targets, and without the damage, without like the super tightly crafted draft by Team Aion was not able to function anymore once you take out somebody else. You take out the Kunkka, you don't have any initiation. You take out the Doom, you cannot shut down anybody. You take out the Bane, insanely easy. You just need to avoid the Nightmare. And then Luna, you just take out all of the damage. So there is nothing else that you can work with. But this game is a completely different scenario, as the first hero to be picked up from Team Aion is going to be Treant, and the instant response from Nemiga is like, okay, you guys like trees, you like tree hugging, fine, we're going to just cut down all of the trees on the map to make things a lot easier for us. They already took down the Hoodwink, so nobody's going to benefit in any way from him. They'll take the Ringmaster, they'll take the Tusk, and they'll take the Wind Ranger, once again giving it to Self-Hate as a carry. So I'm just curious about whether this Timber is going to go in mid or if he's going to be going in an off lane. We have yet to see where that choice is going to fall. For Team Aion, we did speak about the Treant. They're gonna take away the Drow Ranger because it was the last available big carry that they could have opted in for. The Shadow Fiend got already taken out as usual. Lone Druid seemed could be set, so, you know, let's just take the last meta hero that we have available and then just pair it up with Snapfire. She does not necessarily have any early damage, but she's really good in terms of lane harassment, and of course, with the Snapfire, you can go in for the setups, but I don't think they're going to be in the same lane. It's going to be Treant joining forces with the Drow Ranger most likely. So you're going to have a decent front line, a decent healing output coming in. So it's going to make your life a little bit more manageable as the Drow, but Nemiga, they can just get another stompy offlaner and then just make things a lot more annoying. Aion's option for mid is going to be the Storm Spirit. Ember is going to be taken out, Largo is going to be out of the picture, as obviously Aion are going to go in for a last pick off lane. They're going to take away the double healing potential, so maybe forcing Aion to go in for something a little bit more aggressive. I would consider Underlord here, just because you do have, you know, not only the global presence, but the Pit of Malice is way too annoying for you to deal with. Queen of Pain removed from the game, which might lead for Nemiga to opt in for a Void Spirit. Underlord is definitely going to be taken out, which leaves remaining, well, either the Dawnbreaker or the Tidehunter or the Centaur. Why not the Centaur? You already have a very mobile draft with the Storm Spirit being available, so why not just add a little bit more? Once again, it's a very tight draft here that Team Aion are delivering. Well, they're bringing in. Now it's a question whether or not they're going to deliver it with it properly. Nemiga, though, they have a very annoying combination of supports, which it is always going to reset your Tide of War. You do have the Escape Act, you have the Impalement, Tame the Beasts, you have Wheel of Wonder for the resets, and then you have the Tusk with the Shards, with the Snowball, and whatnot. Like, we've seen what a good Tusk game can look like, so there's already these big resets that Nemiga are bringing in with a very small cooldown and not necessarily needed to overcommit. And to make things a little bit easier for them, they're going to go in for the rinse and repeat combination coming in from Youngji, and that is with Leshrac. And Leshrac is not a hero that we're seeing every day, so I'm really curious. Let me just give it a quick check from the qualifiers for TI. He got picked up 3 times, and it's been 2 out of 3 victories for the Lesh. Completely unbanned, completely ignored, so it's definitely a situational player specialty. But all in all, Nemiga, they do have stuns. They do have damage. They can burst through towers. So it will just be a matter of time. Kovestein is going to take the Timber Saw for a stroll down, up on in the off lane. So ultimately, it's gonna be him with Janter, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just do a quick double check, because sometimes they can make these rotations. And Janter decided to join in today instead of Fishman, which is an interesting choice. And this is actually the last series that they're playing. They actually wrapped up pretty much everything. It's been 2 victories and 2 losses, which is, well, if they win this one with a 2-0 result, this is going to put them comfortably into the playoffs. But this is Group A. It's a pretty tough group. Cheeky Bamboni, currently known as RE Arise, Nemiga, PogChamp, Hive, Team Spirit Academy, and Team Aion. So yeah, if things go good, it should be overall good for Nemiga and for them to fortify their position within this season. But Team Aion, on the other hand, they have a strong combination. They have a lot of control. They have a very big damage output. And again, as much as I like this draft, after seeing the previous game's performance, it could be tough. Because Nemiga, they're a little bit more composed. They're a little bit more focused. Team Aion, they're still new to the scene, as, you know, not necessarily individually, but as a collective. So they may or may not anticipate what Nemiga have to offer here. The Drow, however, facing off against the Timber Saw and the Tusk, it could be a little bit tough. Even though she's got the support in the form of Trian, so at the very least there is a frontlining hero
30 seconds
to make her life a little bit better. Or actually, I might be wrong. I think, yeah, it is Atomic who's gonna go as pos 5. My bad. Just needing to make sure everything is, well, as it should be, because sometimes we can see these switcheroos either between pos 1 and 2 and pos 4 and 5. Takizawa, he's gonna get exposed. Self-Hate realizes there is somebody lurking here, but they're not willing to commit. They're not even gonna go in for the Vision, as Vision has already been placed by Nemiga. So nothing too spectacular around the first blood. It's gonna be 2 bounties for each side. And with that, we're ready to begin with the laning stage. So, Self-Hate and Janter. It is gonna be Wind Ranger alongside with the Tusk, so it's a tough combination. I mean, it's a very aggressive one once the levels start coming in. I mean, level 2 of Power Shot, 1 level of the Shackle Shot, and Vevo might be having a tough time. Takizawa, on the other end, should be looking a little bit better, but he's gonna kick off with the Hoof Stomp. By the time he gets the Retaliate, it's gonna be a lot more manageable. But Janter, he doesn't shy away from being overly aggressive to begin with. Just with the tag team slowing down Vevo, 1 Power Shot, and the Snapfire is already in a little bit of a panic mode. Hoof Stomp is gonna connect. Ooh, he's gonna miss out with the 2nd Power Shot though. Aion doing the best they can to avoid, and they're trying to sandwich Self-Hate. Blood Grenade will be dropped. He does not have the Wind Run available, but there's Janter right behind his enemy once again. Power Shot for the charge up. Ooh, he's gonna get a lot of that damage. Fairy Fire for the save. Vevo running low on resources, but same could be said for Self-Hate. Ultimately, both of them survive. Mid lane, Young G versus Koldoff. 2 insane spellcasters. But I do like Leshrac a little bit more compared to the Storm Spirit, because Storm Spirit, he's always playing a very risky game. You're throwing yourself out there, out into the fray, and hoping for the best. You're either gonna catch or you're gonna get caught. There's no middle ground. Vevo, meanwhile, gets caught up once again. This time, we do have the shards available, and with the Power Shot for the kill, First Blood is drawn. Takizawa, meanwhile, trying to drag away the creep wave to somewhere a little bit more safe for him to farm it out. If there's no support doing these pulls for me, I'm just gonna have to do it myself. Janter looking for the interception. He's got the tag team once again. Pops the one so he can have the shards, trying to block Takizawa, but he's still out into the open. Very least Janter can do is try to deny, try to control what he's trying to gain on the side. Meanwhile, mid laners, they were just going in for the runes. But nobody's willing to intercept here. Young G. Being ever so brave here, he might fall. Pops the fairy fire, ultimately. Okay, he's gonna survive. It was looking very scary for a split second there. And now he can return to do as much mayhem as he can. Top side, Kova's 9, a little bit under raining fire, but Ariel, he's not hesitating on throwing as many impalement acts as he can, but so far it's been Atomic who's been the recipient of those, who is a tougher cookie to crack. So he's got to be careful, as Kova's 9 is running low on resources. And he's always going to be within the reach of the multi-shot. Thankfully, Retsu, he's running low as well, at least within the mana department. So maybe they can do something afterwards. Bottom side.
Radiant's bottom tower
Unfortunately,
is under attack.
Takizawa walked away with half of that creep wave. And meanwhile, oh, Ariel, he's gonna get caught up. Kova's 9, under fire, slowed down by the frost arrows. Atomic, he's willing to make that dog, but he's getting tower damage, and one more strike needed, and it's gonna be a return. So support for support, even Retsu getting a little bit of that pain train. Ultimately, Kova's 9 survives the onslaught. And he's gonna pour that level 3 into the reactive armor, just to make him a little bit more stable. Ariel, back amongst the living, but so is Atomic, so you gotta be careful because you're, once again, completely where you left off.
Radiant structures.
Kova's 9 doing his best to cut down the trees, and oh, hello, Snowball, Janter coming in from the other side, tame the beast, Retsu's feared up, Kova's 9, he's gonna get him. Poor Drow. Unfortunately, well, she does not have the gust. She does not have anything to protect herself with, and of her support does not even have any lockdown to counteract with, so the best he can do is... Maybe he popped the living armor there, maybe he didn't. Either way, it wouldn't have changed a single thing. Self-hate down bottom.
Structures are fortified.
Did receive a little bit of harassment from Grandma and from the Centaur. But he's still fine, he's still farming. He's still pretty much head-to-head with the Drow. I know. We have now the Snapfire going in for an angle, trying to jump under the tower, and she's gonna make it! Janter, though, is he gonna be on time to save his friend? Well, yes, he will be. Shackle, Takizawa, still within tower range. The tower is hitting, the tower is shrinking, and there's a TP coming in. It's gonna be Ariel. Instant impalement axe will tame the beast. And a power shot for the kill. So far, nearing the 6-minute mark, and Nemiga, they are leading 4-1. But as anticipated, similarly to the Luna situation, Drow is pretty much at the top of things. But how well can he keep up with that advantage? Because we're still not seeing the mid laners break out of their lanes. It's been really calm around that front, but not for long, as we already have the supports jumping in. Young G, ooh, he's got an arcane rune. Very nice find. But the question is, will they be fast enough to take down Koldov? He does not have the splitter for the setup. He does have the storm and the diabolic edict for the damage and for the slow. But Koldov, I mean, thankfully he's just down to 260 mana, so he's not gonna be able to go far with the ball lightning. So this could be interesting. If they make the catch before Grandma jumps in with her cookies, they are looking at a kill here. And we're back. Ringmaster with a little bit of an issue. And there they have it. Koldov jumping in. Janter. Ooh, the shards. Very horribly positioned Vevo, he's in the backlines, living armor to keep the tower protected. Tame the beast, he's feared. But regardless, even if they're not getting the kill, they're getting the tower. Atomic TP's in, and the very last second, Snowball rolling on top of him. Janter, ooh, nice jump forward with the cookie. Vortex back, hold off. He wants a kill, he wants something. Janter, he's gonna get a lot of it. Blood grenade and all of that, but he ultimately shall live. Young G now looking to melt through anybody within his path, and that's gonna be Atomic. The Pulse Nova. Freaking disgusting spell. The only way I think you can make this spell balanced out if you made it like a Phoenix. You're losing HP and mana at the same time. But look at this, just level 1. You're melting through the enemy cams, what they've been working on all game long. Takizawa, he's not gonna get that free farm, and now, looking at bot, Takizawa, Vevo, they might have claimed their shrine, but they're gonna lose the experience right after by forcing Grandma to sit down in the fountain. 6-1 so far, fortification will be popped as the focus fire is trying to focus down the tower. But once again, he's gonna get within range. Takizawa does not have the stampede, so the best he can do is keep this creep wave busy. If things go overly bad for Self-Hate, of course, he's gonna pop the wind run as just presented and just walk out of it. Next focus fire in about 20 seconds, and that next one should be enough to take down the tower. Team Aion, they gotta start focusing her down because she's becoming a problem. 2-1-0 so far, but they got involved in the Drow Ranger as well. Drow Ranger does have the Falcon's Blade, but still she might not be up to fighting, but the fight is going to be brought upon her as Retsu. Impalement attacks are going to miss, but Tame the Beast will not, and of course the Pulse Nova will keep her in check. No multi-shot for a counter kill. Young G, he just destroys Retsu. And of course, for a second focus fire, it's going to be focused for top. So yet another tower shall fall, and I'm looking at all tier 1s being taken down before the 10-minute mark. And I love this ongoing involvement. Wind Ranger is not that type of a hero who just needs to linger, stay in the backlines and farm. No, you want to fight, you want to take objectives, you want to force out the enemy team as much as you can. Team Aion, looking tough. Again, brilliant draft, brilliant setup, but where is it? I want to see it happen. They have the Stampede. Atomic having, well, not as of a punishing experience as Janter got during the previous game, but at the same time, he's lacking the overgrowth. He's lacking a lot of big spells. Self-Hate. He almost got completely surrounded there, but Takizawa, not sure if it was a misclick there that he went with the double edge instead of the hoof stomp. He's gonna lose his creep, the first dominated creep, but Self-Hate, well, it's looking like he's the one being a little bit overly aggressive, but his team is on the other side. Snowball rolls in. Now there's a Stampede being popped up. Janter keeps up with the pressure. He's got the double teleport, but he's not able to put a stop to any of them. Still, they have Takizawa out into the open. And he shall be the one who perishes. 8-1 so far. And yeah, Nemiga did not live up to taking down all towers before the 10-minute mark, but they took them down in 10 minutes and 12 seconds. Still a very satisfactory result. Covis 9. A Timbersaw game. I don't think I've seen a Timbersaw in such a freaking long time, even though during the qualifiers he was present a little bit more. Well, I think a lot more compared to the Lushrak. He's been picked up 23 times, and out of those 23, it's been 13 times that he's won. 6 times banned out. But overall, a decent hero, a decent score for a hero that is not super meta. Of course, he's just gonna go and try to amplify all of his outgoing damage. Gonna go in with the Kaya. I'm gonna go in with the Lotus. He's later on gonna go in with the Kaya and Yasha, sorry, is this a Sanjin Yasha or a, because I'm always getting mixed up with the icons. You don't need to change the color, like it doesn't make anything, the shapes are always looking same. Yeah, it's Kaya and Sanj. But this does not look like a freaking Kaya. I don't know. I mean, it is the hilt of the item that we're seeing. But it's so freaking close between the Sanjin Yasha and Kaya and Sanj. I don't know why. I'm not colorblind yet, so that's for sure. Regardless, after that little banter on my end, we're back with the game. As Team Aion. They are looking for an opportunity to jump upon Kovis 9, but little do they know is that across the gates there's another threat lingering. And they might get a catch on to Retsu beforehand. Instant focus fire on the Drow with the snowball. Kovis 9, he might perish, but Nemiga once again have the better angle. They take down Retsu. And they are looking at Koldov, who does have the amplified damage rune, but he's still greedy here to stay to get a kill. Caught up in the wheel. Utilizes the last drops of mana he has to stay alive, and oh, thankfully that power shot was not stronger, but he's still slowed down. Bottle is completely used up. The snowball, can it reach? No, it can't. Impalement acts, yes, they will connect. He's slowed, and he's dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Actually, they lost 2 during that exchange. Who died as well? Wait. Oh yeah, actually, Aion, they got their first kill a lot sooner. But who died? Oh, it was Ariel, yeah. But that feels like ancient history 12 minutes ago. Yeah, ultimately it was just Kovis 9 getting taken down, and Atomic, he did manage to snatch away 2 couriers to give an extra money for the entire team, but that is not gonna pay off the debt, as well, you lost all of your cores during that skirmish, so it's just like a little band-aid to cover up a gaping wound. So yeah, so far 12 minutes in. It's only a 2k net worth advantage for Nemiga, but mainly that difference could be a little bit broader, but just the nature of Retsu and the Drow Ranger, it is allowing you to get away with some early net worth, but the rest of the course, they are struggling. Even though they are looking for a pick-off potential once again. Let's see if it's gonna go down the same way or if it's gonna be something different. Self-Hate and Janter down bottom. Okay, this time Nemiga. Ooh, Janter, he just passes by Takizawa. But in the backlines, cold off, jumping in, Mortimer's Kisses, Self-Hate avoiding pretty much everything, but eventually he's gonna get Vortex. Retsu coming in from the gate, they're gonna take both of them. Big streak, big kills, but Youngji, Kovis 9, they're jumping right into the mix instantly after. It's gonna be a 2-4-3, but Vevo is still within reach. Okay, just make that 3-4-3. Can they find Atomic? Atomic, he's trying to TP out. Oh, on high ground even. He's not gonna get noticed. Well, great surprise from Aion, but I was looking for this about 10 minutes, well, not 10 minutes earlier, you wouldn't have done that. You need the Orb Lightning. But yeah, maybe when Storm Spirit turned level 6, but the attention was instantly brought in around mid lane, so he wasn't able to do much there. But yeah, good pickoff, good surprise. It was very difficult though to make that catch, because Self-Hate, he ran away the first time out of the vortex. He saw the Mortimer's Kisses jumping in. He was a little bit hesitant over there whether he wants to reveal the fact that Nemiga are jumping in sooner than later. And he made the call to jump a little bit sooner, which did cost him his life, did cost away a very big streak. I'm not sure who got the kill. It could have been Retsu, or it could have been called off, either way. Still, nothing to be lost. Nemiga, they came back, they evened out the score. As they still have their lanes standing strong, so they can just pretty much teleport anywhere they want to go. Top side. Kovis 9 and Ariel. They're scouting, they're looking. But will they find somebody? Retsu? They don't know about the Drow. Now they do because of the creeps. But I don't think they're willing to commit, even though they have self-hate in the back. I mean, I guess the question is gonna be, we're just gonna sit in the back and then just farm for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Hope for the best. Nemiga, they can't do that. They have 3 heroes that are very fast in terms of farming. The Timbersaw and Leshrac especially. Team Aion, they don't have that built in, which is a problem. The only person who can do that AFK is the Drow. Storm, he hates farming. Genuinely hates farming. The best thing he can do is, you know, go in for pickoffs, but pickoffs are possible every single time you have the Stampede onto Takizawa. And of course, when you're giving yourself that opportunity, nah, just don't fall for it. It's obvious it's a freaking illusion. Down bottom. Self-hate, he's just farming away Takizawa's creep, so there's no random creep just pushing in things. Young G, we saw the Blink Dagger already in action. Kaya has been completed, going in for the BKB as per usual. Kovis 9, I don't care about BKBs, I just want a Lotus. Afterwards, we're gonna be seeing the Sanjin Kaya completion, Whip the Scepter upright, and going in for the Shivas. So farm is indeed coming fast for him. For self-hate, it is the Maelstrom completion before he can focus on to the Monta and anything else. How are Team Aion doing? Retsu, he's going in with an early Scepter off his own. Going in for the Hypothermia plays. I mean, that could help you out to take Timber a little bit easier in the upcoming skirmishes, but you still need to think defensively. A BKB will be much needed, especially versus the Lesh. The question is how much of it, because we do have pure damage coming in from the Diabolic Edict. And of course there's also a hell of a lot of physical damage coming in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom under siege. First tower, about 18 minutes in for Team Aion.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
But Nemiga, they're on the hunt. They're looking for kills.
Tower is under attack.
Well, maybe you can just try to bait somebody around that region rune. Or maybe not. They're gonna reveal self-hate. Maybe Aion will take the bait as they're smoked up as well. Kovis 9, oh, he's gonna be the primary target for the jump. Everything upon him. Beautiful snowball save. The cookie. No more worst cases yet. Beautiful bound. They're gonna keep Tusk onto place and everything will be used up for Janter. Backline's cold off, looking for Young G. But Young G, he's kind of scared. Takizawa, they're looking to divide the team fight as in the backline. Self-hate with a focus fire onto Retsu. Takizawa gets taken down as well. Next up, it's Grandma, who is trying to at least get one redemption kill and maybe get self-hate, but it's not happening. All the focus was brought upon the Tusk, but Team Aeons are having casualties a lot more than takedowns.
Dire's middle tower is
It
under
is tough. Again, such a good setup, such a good draft, but the reality is really shaky. The micro decisions from Team Aion are just super weird. They had Kovis 9 on the first lock, and they should have committed for him, because without him it's tougher for the rest of Nemiga to keep up with the front line. But you must never lose sight of both Self-Hate and of Retsu, because if Retsu is left up alone, there's gonna be Self-Hate lingering somewhere around the corner, because that carry is just to shut down your own carry.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And of course, Drow's got nothing to defend herself with. She should be getting the scepter right about now. And I really want to see how much of a change it's gonna make.
Radiant are scanning.
You got the additional slow. And you're reducing the health
Dire's middle
restoration,
tower
but
is under attack.
I don't know, this would have been a little bit better if Drow was available during that previous game.
Got it.
Now there's not a lot of healing to work against. Covis 9 setting things up for the Tormentor, but Team Aion, they have the same idea. Cold off. Oops, Cell Hate. Are they pretending not to see them, or Cold off is just going in for an easier pickup? He wants to go in for aerial. He's gonna dodge the shackle. Nicely done, but now Covis 9, they're looking for him. They want to take him down. Snowball is gonna be short-lived. Not gonna get across the stairs in the backlines. Atomic, he's still lingering for the ultimate overgrowth setup. But Team Aion,
Are scanned.
not sure if they're willing to take that chance. Instead, it's gonna be Retsu topside, who's gonna be exposed. TP out. Not happening, sister. They're gonna get punched, destroyed. Yep, that's a cute multi-shot. Thanks for the reveal of the hypothermia, but we're gonna kill you either way. Atomic, meanwhile, he gets scouted out and working amongst the trees as Covis 9. He's just
Radiant's
clearing
middle tower
out
is under attack.
the entire forest.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Thankfully, the tree regrowth interval has shortened from patch to patch, but Atomic, he's not gonna go far. And not even gonna have a chance to utilize it. I don't know how much did they decrease it from, like, was it like a full minute down to 30 seconds or something like that? I just know trees grow a lot faster than they used to. Yeah, not gonna wait for that to happen. Meanwhile, Tormi got secured. It's gonna be Nemiga, and with a kill on top. Maybe Grandma was looking for some sneaky Mortimer's kisses. She actually
Radiant's
popped them,
middle tower is under attack.
ultimately leading to her reveal, so... Aion, maybe they were trying to do some solo pub plays, but Nemiga... Their in-game focus is absolutely insane. Like, they can always even have the weaker draft. When they know it's the time that this draft is working, that is when we're gonna strike. Aion, they went in both times for these early drafts, but they're failing to find the executions every single time. This time, Cold off. I mean, I wouldn't say he looks a lot worse compared to the Conka, but given the nature of the Storm Spirit and the fact that he loves kills, he likes proactive plays, he wants to be jumpy, he's not getting a lot of it. Thankfully, he's gonna get an Orchid Malevolence, which might be a subject to change to try to punish Young G, but they don't care about the Storm. It's the Drought that they have on their list every single freaking time. Maybe they can assert vengeance onto Self-Hate. That is indeed gonna be the case, not even having the chance to pop the Wind Run. But they used up the Vortex, they used up the Overgrowth, they used up the Stampede. Now it's green light. Rest of Nemiga, fine, we can fight without a carry. We have everything else that we need. Spotlight to expose. In the back. Janter, they have Cold off, locked up, Fear down, trying to jump. He's trying to jump, he's still jumping. And he's gonna reach the gate ultimately. Cold off is gonna be fine. Vevo, however, will not. Takizawa, Atomic still lingering within that small tree line to try to protect. But did we have a reveal? Takizawa, he wanted to jump onto Janter here, or onto Youngji. Low targets. Very juicy, very presumably easy for the Taken. But they're not gonna let him, even if they allow Janter and Ariel to fall. It is gonna be Lushrag just running away. It was a good defense. It was a little bit of something coming in from Team Aion for sure. Not gonna negate them that, but as always, the question is it gonna be enough? We're gonna find out after the break. Takizawa, ultimately being a very strong leader of the group. But again, they threw in this huge initiation just for one hero, and everything else was a little bit more difficult to handle. Thankfully... Oh, that's an... I love that voice line. It's actually... Not sure if that is the first time I'm seeing it, but it's the first time I'm clearly hearing it, due to the pause. But yeah, Janter wants to play some Dota. And I want to watch some Dota for sure. These pauses are always really anticlimactic. But yeah, going back to the Wind Ranger subject, she's just doubling down on aggression right now. She's not thinking that she needs a BKB. She's solely relying on the rest of the team and her Wind Run. But when the Wind Run does not go through, I mean, it's still an indicator that you don't really have a lot of benefit from the BKB either. But it's gonna be Manta. Once again, the Hydra's Breath. Young G surviving that jump. He's forced to be playing a lot more aggressively compared to the Invoker from last time. But so far, score-wise, he's doing really good. Not a single time he's died. 607. And yeah, you almost made me say it. It's not happening. Kovis 9 only 1 death. Self-hate executed twice. Aerial, Janter 3 times each. Takizawa and Atomic same count. Cooled off twice. Retsu 7 times. Oof, it's tough. But he's been managing. He's been alive. He's been farming. He's been trying to inflict as much damage as he can during his uptime. But it's always a question. What can your team do with, and what can your team do without you?
Are scanning.
With him, we haven't seen that scenario. Without him, a lot more likely. And the fact that Takizawa is strong
Are scanning.
is the only frontlining contender that Team Aion can work with, and especially if you still have the Storm Spirit alive. But let's see now, Nemiga. They're on the move. 4 heroes smoked up, whilst keeping self-hate down the lane.
Invisibility.
Can they find a big kill? Can they find a big takedown? They cannot take the outpost since they still have those tiers 2 alive. Maybe they can find Cold Off. Just revealed himself out of that invis, and they instantly, without hesitation, commit from the jump. Beautiful stun locks, beautiful damage, but he manages to break out. I guess you needed that focus fire, guys. But now Cold Off, he's scared away, and this is where the focus fire was all this time. It's like, yeah guys, we're gonna go for kills. Yeah, good for you, I'm gonna go for Roche instead. No props. I can take this guy all by myself. No, you just keep them out of the pit. And out of the pit, they shall keep them, as Vevo was trying to go in with a surprise, but he instead is gonna get surprised. No, Mortimer's Kiss is flying out of nowhere. And Cold Off being completely out of reach. They're not anticipating a snatch either. And also they have the visions, they have everything in check, they have the damage, and they have the Aegis. Life number 2, granted for self-hate. Top lane still standing. Maybe self-hate. No, he's just gonna stick with his team. He's not willing to do any courageous activities and, you know, just try to go and solo scout, try to find Retsu again and be like, yeah, my team has done this for me. I got an Aegis and I got all of these goodies. You, sir, got nothing. Even though net worth-wise they are different by 2k, and all in all it's a 7k net worth difference. I wanna say there still might be a slither of a chance coming in for Team Aion, but
Radiant
it's all coming down around this high ground defense. If Nemiga are feeling way too aggressive about this, they're gonna pay a full price. Because they know, we can take down towers, we can take down buildings, but self-hate already being on the receiving end from no. We don't do this over here. Young G will jump in as well. Backdoor protection. It's falling off, but you're not gonna be able to tank much with that illusion. Thankfully, the creep wave is here, but Takizawa is here as well. Escape pact with the tag team. Nicely done. Mortimer's Kiss is flying in. They take away life number 1. Young G forced to pop the BKB, as he doesn't really want to die there. They are still withholding the Stampede, as the overgrowth is not gonna be present for another 30 seconds, even though there is a buyback available. But Team Aion, they're kind of scared and they're pushed out from their comfort.
Radiant's top tower is
And at the
under
same
attack.
time, they have Cold Off completely on the other side of the map. I mean, sure, you can just push in, maybe give some passive benefits for your team, but all in all, it's been balanced out. Nemiga were not able to take the tower, which is a success. Nemiga were not able to keep the Aegis for long, which was definitely a success. But they had to, you know, pull up some tricks and some distractions to make it happen. And of course, they were looking to punish the fact that Nemiga got a little bit too greedy over it. And they won't be committing any further for that. Takizawa, he's lingering quite deep within the enemy jungle, Young G. He's got the haste, he popped the Stampede with the BKB and everything. He could get Aerial here as a free kill, And that's gonna be the case as he TPs out back home, using up the 9 seconds. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad for Takizawa. Although, always that trade. Big BKB, even for a support kill, it doesn't feel like it's worth it.
I'll take that.
Did they find somebody else? Oof, they almost. Not realizing the Atomic is scouting, but he doesn't have any words, he doesn't have anything to leave behind. So it's just an intel gathering. Kovis 9? He's just gonna TP back with his team, even though he was so freaking close to getting killed there. Scepter upgrade is available for the improved reactive and active armor. Right now it's not just a passive ability.
Radiant are scanning.
So he's growing big in the world for sure. Retsu, how are you doing, buddy? Small victories for this Drow Ranger in the past couple of skirmishes, which is definitely rewarding her with a bunch of items, with a little bit of safety. Finally, the BKB will be brought in on the horizon for the making. Self-hate still not considering it. I need to finish up my Hydra's Breath. And after the Satanic, if there's enough time for this game. Bovis 9? Well, he's gonna be found by Team Aion. And realizing Drow actually freaking hurts right now. So, I gotta respect the second frozen lady of this game. Number 1 is always gonna be Crystal Maiden.
Dire's middle tower is
But
under
let's see
attack.
now, Nemiga, without the Aegis, they are willing to push in, but you gotta isolate at least one target out of this upcoming team fight. Either that's gonna be Atomic, either that's gonna be Vevo. Takizawa, you're gonna waste a lot of time for the Centaur,
Dire's bottom tower
and maybe
is
go in
under
for
attack.
something a little bit easier. Double smoke, hold off, Provis 9, Janter is gonna commit for the jump. They have the Storm Spirit on the logs, down. He's trying to get away, but he's still shackled and within the shards, and oh, he's gonna be jumped upon. Youngji taking both of the kills, but Provis 9 facilitating both of them. Takizawa, Workhorse on the double, but does not have anybody in the crate. It would have been ideal to have those Mortimer Kisses projectiles firing off from the back of the cart,
Has fallen.
but it's just, you know, a romantic idea, which we never saw. I didn't even see that the scepter was completed. I mean, it's always great when you have a strong range hero, either if that's a spellcaster or if it's just a good old agility right clicker. It's a very comfortable spot to be in, but you gotta make sure you get the catch.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Bottom lane cleared up. Last tier 2 remaining is up top. Gotta do. I have no idea what was happening. Actually, I do have an idea why my throat is going crazy. That's because I don't drink enough water. And I should. After this one. Retsu? Oh. Well, I guess he's not drinking enough water as well. As he's gonna get caught up, but manages to break out with a Hurricane Pike just to be dragged back in. And eventually he shall perish. Cold off. Janter, so far, he is safe with the Ghost Scepter, but Cold off is still looking for him. Meanwhile, Self-Hate. He's gonna get a free kill onto Takizawa. Ooh. That's a big one. Cold off. Yeah, doesn't have a TP to run away. At least he takes Janter. He's gonna Vortex back Young G. But eventually he's running low on resources and Self-Hate is right behind him. Jumps up for the one last final time before he gets impaled and bashed to the ground. Kovis 9. He finds Atomic lingering around the mid lane. So ultimately, I mean, not the most spectacular of ways, but Nemiga did deliver a team wipe. From a team fight that was being held on 3
Dire's middle
fronts.
tower is under attack.
One around this little triangle, one was being held over here, and the last one being Atomic dying around mid lane. What was the damage output though? Holy.
Dire's bottom tower is under
This was
attack.
really good. I mean, we don't see anything from Retsu because he just turned around and threw a multi-shot after the Hurricane Pike. But again, the fact that he's lacking a BKB is hurting him so much.
Invisibility.
I'm not sure why we saw that ping there. Maybe there was there's a big discussion happening on the side of Aion. Like, we gotta focus Young G, he's a tough guy, he's destroying everybody. No, we focus self-hate this time.
Are scanning.
Well, Young G, he's gonna come back with a Hex, so even with that cute little Orchid that Cold-Off has... Actually, he didn't commit for the Orchid fully? Really? Why didn't you?
Dire's
That would have been
top
such a
tower
good
is
item to
under
have
attack.
instead. I mean, I think the Switchblade has been present for quite a while. He's gonna go in with the Parasma and with the Lincoln Sphere. Around the bottom jungle they go. Okay, this explains where the pings were. But there's nobody there. Nemiga, they're around mid lane, and Kovis9 is gonna be the first hero that they spot out. Which Nemiga, they're clearly using it as bait.
Radiance are scanning.
Well, it looks like a bait from this point of view because they don't know where the rest of the team are. But Kovis9, he might realize that there is something there. And now Nemiga, they're taking the long detour back home, back towards the Radiant Jungle. Nobody's willing to touch Kovis9. He's not your first target, even though he's your biggest menace here. But all in all, it's just for the Roche setup. Janter eventually. Ooh, his smoke is gonna be broken. Finds Takizawa hiding on the trees as Atomic. He gets spotted out first, walking right under the sentry. With the whip, he shall perish. Cold off, getting the illusions, which are just gonna be turned into instant gold for self-hate. In the backlines, Kovis9, he's looking for more. Thankfully for Aion, Retsu is nowhere within the vicinity. So they're just gonna have to give this up. Roche gets triggered. And he's gonna fall a lot faster than he did for the first time. Self-hate once again obtaining life number 2. And of course the Roche banner as well. Actually, I'm quite glad that he switched his mind. Going in for the BKB first rather than the Satanic. Because BKB is always gonna give you that guaranteed immunity. But Satanic means that you're alive, you've broken out, and you're able to deliver damage. And one can facilitate the other,
Radiant's top tower is under
but
attack.
one cannot really go over the other. So I do like BKB being brought in, which is, you know, gonna take away the slot
Dire's bottom
from the
tower is
Aegis
under attack. Radiant's top
whenever it
tower
may
is
fall.
under attack. Radiant's
Takizawa
has been
sniping couriers as a pastime, just to have at least some sort of a harassment effort against Nemiga, but Nemiga, we're not gonna run back for couriers getting killed. We got everything that we need. They're pretty much on their way back. We're just gonna clean up your entire base. Bottom side, destroyed. Mid lane, now currently under siege. As fortification is gonna be popped up. Aion, whether they like it or not, they gotta fight. Retsu, trying to throw as much as he can onto Selfgate. He even pops the Glacier, but just one small misstep. There's absolutely... It's just you and the range.
Dire's middle barracks is falling.
Escape Act. Retsu just keeps on multi-shotting. And yeah, as always, apologies for the FPS. The laptop is burning and it's 40 degrees outside, but Kovis9 does not care, even though he might melt in that armor. Pops the Lotus in the back, Atomic with the Overgrowth, but that was not a good Overgrowth, my buddy. Hold off, gets a lock onto Young G. They have the Lesh, and the Lesh is gone. Now Self-Hate, he forced to fight. He's gotta fight all the way through because they might lose their advantage. Hold off, keeping up with the chase. Ariel in the back. He's gone. Aegis life number 1. Hold off, setting up for yet another one. They gotta protect him. Vevo, ooh, nicely done. But still, they're pretty much cluttered and still within the multi-shot. Selfgate is trying to charge in, but they're not gonna be able to take them down. Kovis 9 as well, he's dead! What a defense from Aion! Ooh, that was a big one.
Tower is under
Well, not just one. Multiple of them. They took down Youngji for the first time in the game. They took down Selfhate and they took down Kovis 9. No, that was absolutely amazing, and the Drow finally was able to live throughout an entire team fight. And at first it was looking a little bit scary, but Aion, it feels like they purposefully removed some of their offenses to make it look like Nemiga, okay, now we have a chance to strike them, but they neither took Takizawa first, nor they took down Retsu. And Youngji, he got caught up right in the middle of the skirmish. No BKB to pop, no nothing. And they don't even have a Lincolns of their own. Which is kind of sad, but eventually you're gonna need that extra layer of safety. Of course, as long as cold off, he still has the single target vortex available that you can avoid. If he decides to go in for the scepter, no, that's when you're penultimately screwed. Youngji, for the first time resting in the fountain. And now he's gonna be back, freshened up. And working his way up for the overwhelming blink. Meanwhile, Aion going in for the second Tormio of the game. Which may have broken Ariel for a split second there. Hopefully he's not gonna stay AFK for a while. So yeah, 40.5 minutes in, it's 34 over 15. Still in the favor of Nemiga alongside with 14k. But that advantage was a little bit higher earlier on. Still, they overstayed. They did a very big mistake of lingering a little bit too long in the enemy base. And they lost a bunch of big streaks. A lot of money just got thrown towards the direction of Aion like that. Like, no nothing. No return, no change. But they set it up really nicely. Retsu looking like a hyper menace right now. The Drow Ranger damage is building up. And she's about to multiply it. Daedalus. I think the Demon Edge... Oh, it's still waiting to be bought. And then afterwards we're gonna have the Manta. Kinda late for Manta, but either way. It's good to avoid things. It's not just for the illusions to be brought into the mix. It might make your life a little bit easier against the snowballs actively coming in. But again, if Nemiga have the upper hand, which for the first time in the game they didn't during a team fight, there's again a lot of things that you can throw at her. And not much of an explanation of why Ariel paused the game. Usually we have something right about now. Or maybe a G, you know. We can come back. I want to see this game. And I'm kind of sad. Takizawa, meanwhile, getting really, really beefy here. Heart of Tarask, Blade Mail. Well, the helm was the first item that he brought in. Unfortunately, we really haven't seen much of a utilization from it, aside from it being free kills and free farm for the Wind Ranger. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit sleepy, even though I've been up and awake since 9. Me and Summer and me and Heat don't really work out. Like, I just get drowsy and sleepy all the time. I guess we have Nemiga back, but it's always like when you pop a pause on one and the other one is trying to utilize as much of the free time as they can because it's not their time. For me, falling off quite fast, even though Atomic had to call the blink in to jump the hell out of there. And it's gonna be a Storm Spirit shard. Okay, an Overload. This is looking strong, even though I don't think I see the Storm Spirit's shard being prioritized. It is the second to last shard, though, that Aion needs to obtain before they start getting money from the Tormi. No shards currently available onto Youngji and Selfhate, even though I do love the Wind Ranger Gale Force. And in this scenario, it's like, I assume you can push the Drow off of the glacier to make it a little bit, you know, closer and personal for you to fight against her. Afterwards, we're gonna have the Tailwind upgrade, so she's gonna focus on to the Aghanim Scepter upgrade rather than the Shard. Youngji still working up for the Overwhelming Blink because they know they could be sieged down at any moment. Takizawa, once again lingering deep. Atomic, he gets caught up. Stampede pop, but they still won't close the gap. Power shot and everything. Atomic is dead and gone. Big ultimate used to get the hell out of there. But how far can Takizawa get? He's gonna try to TP out. Oh, it's gonna be a success. Whew. That would have been really scary. I mean, it was a better choice for him to TP rather than gate away, because gate does take a little bit longer. And across the other side, Janter shall go along with Ariel and with Youngji, and who might they find? They find Coldov instantly off the get-go, camping, farming and camping, and oh, Cookie's gonna just propel him forward into the... Oh, that was so unfortunate. There were so many errors there. I mean, the Cookie, he should have faced outwards so he can jump out of the Wheel of Wonder. Instead, he got forced out a little bit deeper into the ultimate. Kovis 9 looking for more. Without the storm, he fears nothing in this world except for the towers, which, you know, they're still a tier 2 being present. Second time they go in for this tower, and this time the Edict with the focus fire, they're gonna get the job done. No backdoor protection, no nothing. They're still missing out on that mid lane. But do they want to make the jump? That's the big question. They're gonna. Self-hate. Ooh, lingering first. His smoke is gonna get broken. And they're gonna use the open entry here without Rax. Maybe to take the detour, maybe to jump onto Retsu, and that's gonna be the case. Instantly locked down with the Workhorse. They're trying to save him, but he's gone, and he's gone for 90 seconds. Takizawa looking like target number 2, but the beautiful Mortimer's Kiss is coming in, taking down 3 heroes. Instant buyback forced by Coldov. Self-hate still alive and well. He did pop the Satanic to survive that skirmish. But can he roll back to take down Coldov? Kovis 9 still all by himself. He still has the Overwhelming Blink on cooldown. Takizawa reinitiates. Self-hate, do you want to jump in again? Do you want to fight? I mean, it's not the bestest of ideas, but he's gonna pop and he's gonna die. That's a very bad choice, fighting against Takizawa. Vivo, meanwhile, coming back, and Kovis 9 is gonna get taken out. The approach was great from Nemiga, but now you gotta split. You either gotta focus down Retsu or you gotta focus down Grandma, and Grandma, she did deliver a lot. Those Mortimer's Kisses lined up really nicely, but ultimately the MVP of that team fight was Takizawa. First off, the fact that he can soak up all of that impending damage. He's got the BKB as well. Okay, Aion. I may have overestimated your map performance, but this is quite the subject to change, even though you've taken quite the losses and a double buyback committed. But you're looking to hurt Nemiga, maybe even hurt a couple of towers in the process. Bottom side, almost completely pushed in by Vevo.
Radiant are scattered.
And first Roche, this time for Aion. Nemiga, unfortunately, they're looking to do something about this, but this is a tough jump. Janter still commits. Overgrowth used up. They're trying to put the Tusk to a halt. 10 more seconds are left remaining until Self-Feed returns, and they're pouring everything into the mix. Ariel, Janter, both of them will fall. Stamping, Pisses, everything. Roche needs to go, and he needs to go now. They're gonna secure it. But at what price? I mean, it was a good one. But Nemiga, okay, Nemiga, what were they thinking about this one? These last couple of skirmishes, they've been tough. They've been really tough, and trying to find the right angle for a team fight is... it's not good, but let's see what Nemiga have to offer. They instantly jump upon Koldov, who could be on a dieback if he dies here. Where is he? Okay, he's still fine, but he's got the Aegis. Okay, first life out. Kovis9 still deep within the fight. Ooh, Young G, this could be bad. Can he break out here? He does not have the BKB. He does not have anything. And he's gone for 90 seconds. Janter, he's gonna be on a dieback with only the Aegis claimed here. Oh boy, self-hate. He's gonna try to push in the creep wave at the very least. Maybe, just maybe he can force out Megas here. Because going back home right now it's not possible. You're gonna have 2 more units missing for a full minute. Okay, I'm just gonna farm. That's what I'm gonna do.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But my base is being pushed in. At least I have delivered these catapults and these couple of ranged creeps to help me out, so maybe they can aid for something, but not with the incoming creep wave. It's not gonna happen. Meanwhile, Ariel gets caught up. Hold up with the jump. Takizawa, Retsu, look at that multi-shot damage. Kovis9 is gonna be dead, but he's got a buyback if much needed. Atomic, though, gets caught up. They're trying to make this even. They're trying to defend this base. Workhorse, they're taking them out, but the base has been breached. And look at the amount of damage Retsu is doing. I don't think you can fight 2v4, guys. Not as long as Takizawa is alive. Mid lane, cleared up and secured. Let's see if they can do the same thing up top. They used up the Roche banner, they used up the cheese. Well, they used up the Aegis, not the cheese. Hold off. Yet again committing for a jump. Mortimer's kisses will be used up. They're trying to get Kovis9 down to 0. But he's not allowing himself to fall as easily. Janter, though, he's gonna be the sacrificial lamb of this mix. Could they take down one? Takizawa, still with the blade mail up. He's hexed up, though. They're willing to fight him down. Self-hate, popping everything he had to stay alive, but no, he's gonna die. He does have a buyback hold up, still leading the siege, even though he doesn't have any mana left remaining. He still will get enough to make the jump power shot for the miss. Chakram, oh my god! 2 minutes without him. Retsu? Oh, trying to get away with the BKB, but it's not happening. Oh boy, this game is absolute insanity, ladies and gentlemen. 50 minutes of just a bunch of back and forth, and now Aion making a very big mistake. They poured in all of their resources for this, yet they have 2 buybacks left remaining. Takizawa, this guy is a beast. This guy, by all standards, by all measures, he's gonna go in for the scepter upgrade. But let's see if he's gonna survive this one. I mean, it's taking so much time for Nemiga to break him. And he just throws everything back. Nemiga. Oh boy, self-hate. This is dangerous. This is dangerous, my dude. Spotlights for the reveal. Nobody there. Self-hate. If you gotta do something, you gotta do it now, my friend. Because later is not gonna be an option. Walks in with the focus fire right into the grasp of Takizawa. But the rest of the team, they're looking to keep him in control. They're looking to keep him in check. Little Wonder drop down. Still has the arrows, and oh, they're gonna get him for the first time. Can you secure Megas before he comes back? There's the buyback. Retsu, he's still withholding his, but the Megas can be secured in this amount of time. Takizawa, he does have the overwhelming blink, but he's gotta let it fall. Actually, no, there's the mid. There's mid still remaining. Okay. You still have a good shot before Retsu comes back. Focus fire with the fortification. I wouldn't want to stay here if I were Nemiga. Just back off. Back off. You got as much as you could have, but now it's when things get real. As you also focus, you used up the self-hate buyback. You used up the buyback onto Kovis9. You're gonna get Young G's back in about 30 gold, so it is something. But the next strike, either Aion need to make a very, very terrible mistake, or get ultimately greedy, which, again, it's still a mistake. Roche is not going to be back in a while, so Nemiga are not going to have the comfort of getting a second life onto anybody. What they can do here is, I don't know, try to stabilize this. Because if they don't, we're going to go to game 3. Aion.
Dire are scanning.
Still looking to push in. I mean, they have the upper hand within the past couple of, well, not 10 minutes. I think it's been more. Ever since we saw this first siege. Yeah, it's been about 11 minutes. About 12 that they've had some safety. But they shouldn't allow it to perish. Because they're literally hanging on a thread here. Nemiga, they're far more likely to be the ones making a mistake. Because I'm not sure, like, this Timber Saw is ultimately suffering. Youngji is also suffering. Find and isolate the Drow, and hope for the best you're getting her in a package deal with Vivo. Because Grandma is a big problem. Take out the backlines. Take out the backlines and then focus on to Takizawa, if you can keep him distracted for long enough. But the role of the Centaur is I always gotta be here for my team. I gotta set them up, I gotta remove them from the team fight. It feels like a soccer mom. I'm the one with the van that needs to take care of everything. Even though he did force out his buyback, which is the only good thing that Nemiga can work with. Again, taking him down once was a challenge. But what shall we do? What shall we see? We could be watching another 7 minutes of farming until we get to the final tier 5 items. Which could benefit Aion a little bit more compared to Nemiga, as it seems. Janter venturing out a little bit too deep and a little bit too courageously there. Don't go by yourself. Never go by yourself like that. I mean, yeah, it's a support kill, you know, you could be getting something in return, but you're gonna be out for a full minute. It's 53 minutes in the game. It's way too much time. Even a second is a lot of time in Dota terms, but holy, Ariel, oh. Blinked away at the very last second. Aion, they're setting themselves up for murder. Roche, we're gonna know on his status in about 5 seconds. If it's a long one, it could benefit Nemiga. But it's gonna be an insanely short one, 12 seconds. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, and Aion are already in position. Just give Retsu a double life. Nemiga. They don't know about this. They don't know anything about this, and they don't have Janter for another 15 seconds. Who is the third person to obtain a buyback on the side of Nemiga. And I guess we're gonna look into everybody getting their buybacks, everybody getting off of cooldowns, everybody completing their tier 5s until they're ready to fight again. At the very least, Nemiga are able to reobtain their outpost. But it does give an idea to Aion where their counterparts are. There's still this vision. There is still this vision which is messing you up. Thankfully, they will find it. They have the gem. So it's just gonna be the observer taken out before they pop the smoke. And given the positioning, they could go in for a fast Roche right now. But no, actually, Roche just changed sides. Really unfortunate. Are they gonna go in for Megas? Youngji? He is visible. Aion? You're looking for a bot. Okay, this could be interesting. We could be seeing a base race. This could be really fun. Self-hate closing in the gap. We have the melees inside. There come the Megas. Megas secured, cold off, jumping in, gets the vortex, but the escape pack is gonna take him back. Youngji, temporarily invisible. They used up the Stampede, they used up the Mortimer's Kisses. Not a lot of heroes have connected, but they have forced out a couple of BKBs to be popped up. And they have Youngji locked up. Oh, cold off. Leading the siege for more. He wants them gone. They have Self-Hate locked out. Another escape pack for the safe. Takizawa is keeping up the harassment of the force. And Self-Hate, he's gonna die for 2 minutes. He's out of the picture. Rest of the crew, what can you do? You're having a very tough spot. You're having a very tough life. It's gonna be a snowball with two of them inside. Atomic is gonna be the only one who perishes, but they have Kovis 9, they have Jantor, they have 3, 4 of them gone. But it's gonna be a traded off for Retsu as Ariel gets the final strike for a kill. Oh. Why did you cancel that? You were Invis. You had the glimmer. Okay, you just messed yourself up, man.
More aware of your surroundings.
Back into the fray.
That was a big take from Nemiga, but the cost was way too horrendous. They're gonna get the buyback back on Self-Hate. He does have money, thankfully. But everybody ignoring this Roche is just a waste. I mean, come on. The game is like, please take this, bring it over here, get yourself plus life number 1, and move on. This game is won.
That was a big bowl of failure.
Yeah, thank you very much. They gotta use it. They gotta have let Ritsu have that second life. In about 40 seconds, they will get the Wind Ranger back. And even with the Mega situation, they've been able to push out away from the middle section of the map, so... And plus they already have the super creeps. So that's a little bit of an extra help. But 20 more seconds. Nemiga, do you have 20 seconds? You do have the fortification. You still have the Rex up. And Aion, they're looking for the tier 4s. They're looking to end this. 10 more seconds. Come on, guys. Do you have it or not? And it's just Takizawa and Retsu for the time being. Bottom side. And they're not looking to push in for Megas. They're looking to end it all. This could be a big win or a big mistake. High risk, high reward play. Self-Hate, he is back. And they're beating with Retsu. The creeps are going to be cleared up. But can you take the fight from high ground? Outpost resecured by Aion. They have the fast TP available. But at the same time, they gotta pay attention to all sides. They gotta pay attention to the lanes. They could have taken a lot more damage if they went in for at least one bottom Rax. Hold up, with the jump, double vortex, 2 targets, Kovis 9 and Jantor. Both of them will die. Well, actually, no. Kovis 9, he's still fine. He did survive by the escape pack, and he's gonna break out. Do they have a lock on to Retsu? They have Wheel of Wonder. They have her. Oh, Young-Ji takes down life number 1. They're charging in forward, but they're using way too many BKBs to make this happen. Cold Up once again with the reinitiation. Vortex on to 3. They took down Cold Up. They took down Young-Ji. They took down Takizawa. The price is way too heavy as Young-Ji did force out a buyback for this one. Self-Hate though. He's still fine as he's gonna force out a buyback, but all of the buybacks are now being forced off as Retsu, he's still fine, he still has life number 2, and they will take down Kovis 9 for yet another time. Only 2 heroes left remaining on the defense life with everything for them on the line. Self-Hate. I don't think you can do it by yourself, man. Like, do everything that you can. Play your little heart out, but I think it's hopeless. Thankfully, Aion, they were playing in quite greedily. But they still have the advantage. They still can continue where they left off and expose the Aegis. Nobody coming back in about 90 seconds. You gotta make it. It's now or never, boys. Your Ancient is under siege. You still have the fortification available. But they already have the catch. They already have Self-Hate caught up and he's dead. There's the GG being called up as Aion. Aion, they're gonna go to game number 3. This was absolutely insane. I mean, game number 1, it was quite the underperformance on their end, even with the better draft, but now it seems like they can adjust, they can modify their stress, they can refocus on things, and they can win. And there was this guy in chat, and I was like, this could be the first time I'm seeing a Centaur and a Drow combo losing, and would have been absolutely insane. And I do agree, this is one of your prime go-to combinations, and if it was lost, it would have been really bad for Aion. But Nemiga, they well, they did not respect their enemies well enough. So starting off with the picks, starting off with the bans, completely neglecting the power of the Drow. And that sort of disrespect is what gets you into game number 3, which we will find out the result after this small break, ladies and gents. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for game number 3 between Nemiga and Team Aion. Team Aion, they did fortify an amazing game to victory in such a way that their draft was scaling in, first off, in a very better manner compared to what Nemiga had to offer. They were hoping for a lot more of a faster game, or a lot more of a faster impact with the Timber Saw being picked up, with what they were doing with Self-Hate, but ultimately, as much as they were able to break high ground and get into Megas, they were not able to take down Takizawa on the Centaur. They were not able to get close to Retsu onto the Drow Ranger, which both of them were freaking insane. One soaking up all of the incoming damage, one dealing immense amounts of damage, and with a beautiful support combo to make that even more possible. But for this game, there's gonna be a huge change of pace compared to what we've seen in the first two series. First off, Drow is again gonna be banned out, so no sneaky plays, no out of the ordinary damage coming out from nowhere after a bunch of hypothermia thrown in from glaciers and whatnot. We're gonna be seeing, though, another toxic carry, which this time is gonna be brought in by Nemiga Gaming. It's gonna be Shadow Fiend alongside with Tiny. For Aion, so far, the opener is going to be Clockwork, Lycan, and Rubik brought into the mix. So Rubik is always known to be a super impactful support, stealing everything that you have away from your enemies, and instantly improving it 10 times more with either the shard or with the scepter upgrades that he's getting. I do like this Lycan pick, because it's feeling like this is going to be an off-laning Lycan, just for the sole purpose of I'm going to go and look to punish the SF as much as I can. But it could be either or, because what Nemiga have packing so far, I'm not sure if this is going to be a Tiny going in as a mid laner or a Tiny going in as a support. He's far less likely to go in as a support, because a lot of teams have been prioritizing him as a core just to maximize his impact and eventually get that right-click immense amount of damage to melt through buildings and whatnot. But regardless, even if he's paired up as a support or as something else, it is going to be a tough lane for either way. You're either getting the SF and the Undying combination, just raise, decay, everything like on top of whoever you might find, and they're going to get destroyed. Tiny just jumping in, avalanche in, destroying everybody. But now we have the Slaughter being picked up for Nemiga, which is most likely going to be the mid laning contender, and I'm not sure if you want to go off lane Tiny. That feels like a little bit of a bit mistake. And Nemiga, they already underestimated their enemies with the Timbersaw pickoff. Aion, they remained composed, they remained focused this time, and they showed them that even though it takes them a little bit to get into control, as again, this is the first series that they're playing, not only as a team, well, not only as a part of the European Pro League, but also as a part of themselves. So they still need some fine adjustments, some, breaking of the tension here and there, but they're able to perform, they're able to play, and they're able to do a complete sweep from losing from about like 22k net worth difference. This time, though, with the Drow not being picked up, it's gonna be Wind Ranger for the first time entering the ranks of Aion, but it's gonna be 3 out of 3 plays. And I did like game number 1 when Self-Hate was playing it. Game number 2, Self-Hate was feeling a little bit too aggressive there. Like, they knew that they were on a timer at one point. They just had this huge wake-up call about how strong Aion currently are, and we're just like, either we're gonna try to rat this out, but we cannot really rat things out unless we are having an Nature's Prophet, right? So they got overly greedy, they got overly punished for it. Let's see what this final game has to say. Ember and Ember, Invoker, Storm Spirit are going to be taken out, so we're all looking at the final mid laning contenders. Queen of Pain is still in the pool, which could be interesting for either one of these teams. But there's also a very high chance she's going to be banned right about now. And of course, that's going to be the case. Never let the queen reign superior, because once she gets the scepter, it's going to be daggers flying around everywhere and everybody just ends up bleeding. Even though that would have been a very, very interesting combination with Nemiga to be brought into the mix. What else is still interesting? Aion, they have the second to last pick. And they still have a full minute and a half left remaining on their reserve time to make up their minds. Going in Kunkka here could be interesting. Going in Primal Beast here also could be interesting. Because there's not a lot of reset potential coming in from Nemiga here. They don't have a sizable amount of lockdowns. What they can catch in the given moment with the Slithering Crush and follow it up with the Tiny is what they can work with, and then just throw in all the damage instantaneously. But if they opt in for some, I'm just gonna deal a lot of damage, sort of a mid-play, it might just, you know, pretty much backfire at them. Or they could do something interesting and just retain the SF as a mid laner and get a Sven. But no, don't do that now. Don't. Even though this is the second Earth Spirit that I'm seeing, this time he's gonna finally live up to his own position, and that being pause number 2. It's an interesting draft that Aion are cooking for sure. I mean, they're overlooking these meta heroes and trying to work in a combination of their own. I do like if things get into the late game stage of the game, if we get the bite ability from the Lycan to make other heroes also lycanthropes and just charge through the map, even though the textbook bite combination was with Tiny. But Tiny's on the other side, unfortunately. Still, last but not least, it is gonna be Necro brought in for Nemiga. I mean, it's usually a hero that a lot of teams are looking at it as a carry contender, but I think it's the mid lane where he belongs a little bit better. So it's gonna be him versus the Earth Spirit. Now this could be a tough matchup for the Earth Spirit, as you're always gonna have the Heartstopper Zora within your reach. You're always gonna have the pulses. The Death Pulses is jumping in, which is always that fine line between Young G being able to farm and keeping up with the harassment. Ko-S9 taking the Slaughter as an offlaner. Very pushy, very annoying, for sure. And he's gonna be joined in by Ariel, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, he's gonna be joined in by... Yeah, by Ariel, my bad. Janter is gonna join in alongside with SF, which definitely, that's a very, very annoying combo to deal with. Again, raise, decay, everything just popping out of nowhere. Ko-S9 and Ariel are gonna join forces. Now, that's a very impactful combination with a very strong lockdown potential. The damage output is just a little bit limited, but I do see a good amount of harassment coming in onto the Wind Ranger. Let me just do a quick double check, unless they made sort of a switch and, I don't know, decided to throw Lycan as a carry. That would be insane, but I wouldn't miss out on that opportunity either. I mean, it used to be such a good play for carries as well, but nope, it's gonna be Takizawa onto the Lycan and Retsu going in as the Wind Ranger. So yeah, there we have it. Game number 3. I mean, theoretically, this should be a Nemiga game. Should be, because both Young G and Self-Hate, they're super fast and super speedy and very good in terms of farming on these two heroes. Lane control, also really good, even though Young G will be left on his own means as the game keeps on going. But this guy hasn't been shy from delivering. I mean, Young G has been one of the best mid laners around here at EPL. Very consistent in terms of performance, very good in terms of laning. It's just, of course, later on you need to play with your entire team that completely changes the course of your success. Already, visions popped on one side and the other. Ko-S9 still lingering with the smoke up, as they still haven't broken contact with anybody, but they did see the Rubik just passing by over the river. And making that jump is going to be a little bit tough, because you do have the cogs, you do have the boulders rolling around of nowhere, and you do have the telekinesis if need be. Eventually, Young G, he does not linger around to figure out what's lurking on the other side. It's going to be 2 for 2 either way. With, yeah, one being snatched by Ariel up top, and the other one, again, it was Self-Hate being pushed away from the bounty. And Vevo, which is actually X's Vampire. I did get a confirmation from admin that this is our guy. He just likes changing names. It's like, I chose this name for myself back when I was 13, and I registered as such, you know, in the system, but now I just regret it. Thankfully, I think you can change it, you know, maybe opt in for something a little bit different. We had Yatoro changing into, what was that phase? Oh my god, what was the name of the Elden Ring boss name that he took for quite a while? Rodon. Yeah, that was the name. But it was just a face. Like the Team Spirit hairstyles. But hairstyles, that's gonna be a different subject. Janter already going in deep here, looking in for the harassment onto Takizawa, but he should be careful even though he's trading in a lot of that strength. Can they get the first blood? Oh, they used up the raise, but they have the right click. Still within range. Takizawa dies as first blood. As anticipated, this is gonna be a very, very tough lane for Aion to control. Let's hope that the rest of the lanes are looking a little bit more stable. Retsu, he's got the clockwork side by side. So maybe they can go in for a good setup with the cogs and with the battery assault, but still it's gonna be tough of whichever target you're gonna get here because, well, let's see what happens. Instant avalanche coming in, Ariel, he's still locked down. He breaks one of the cogs, but he broke the wrong one, still within the tree. Oh. I mean, he just got 18 gold out of it, but he should have taken this one out, not this one, right into the tree, and... well, he didn't even have a quelling blade to take it down, so... that's a big oopsie. But yeah, one cog's jump, and it's enough with the power shot. So yep, that's at least one lane kept in check. Bottom side, Janter looking a little bit low. But it's due to the fact that he's been doing a lot of heavy lifting. And of course, the false pretense of having the DK stacks and looking a little bit bigger than you actually are, and then just losing all of the stacks and dropping down to 10 HP. That's always the harsh reality of playing an Undying, but he's got the tombstone, so right now, if Aion are looking to misstep, he's gonna look in for the punishment, or maybe if things go a little bit too hectic up top, maybe he can join in his friends and assist against the siege. I was about to say self-hate, but it's Retsu this time on the Wind Ranger. Mid lane, Youngji looking very dominant over Koldoff, and again, it was super expected that the Necro was gonna have a lot better lane compared to Nerf Spirit. I don't know, like, why they completely neglected it. Even though Earth Spirit, not gonna lie, it's a huge hero, it's a very good setup, and it's very good when it comes down to melting squishy targets. But getting there is gonna be a problem. Youngji already leading by half of a level. Well, pretty much he's about to hit level 5. 27 and 7 CS compared to 13-0. Now that's quite the big difference. Meanwhile, bottom side, Self-Hate and Janter, they're just actively pushing in. They, like, almost 4 minutes, they already started dealing tower damage. Now that's quite impressive. Top side, are you able to reciprocate the successes of the other two lanes? So far, the answer is no. Kovis9 is struggling a little bit. I mean, the double melee off lane, it's a little bit shaky at start, and Ariel already paid the price. Thankfully, he didn't fall his first blood. Half wave creep pull back into the Pinecone Warriors. Retsu. Well, he's looking to secure the banner creep, but it's not gonna happen as Janter jumps in from the backlines with the tombstone. Retsu doing the best to take it down. It's gonna be a mission success for the extra gold, but he could lose Atomic here, even though the power shot did connect to 2 heroes. Ultimately, Nemiga's effort is gonna pay off, but can Aion do something about it? Bottom line, I don't think so. Janter is gonna be back quite fast, even though the tombstone was somewhat lost. Nexus Vampire is gonna get a lot of that heavy hitting. The telekinesis taking him back on top of Janter. They're gonna break off contact, but nobody is still safe. A Self-Hate, he's lingering. He knows somebody's so goddamn low, and this could be very good terrain for him if he starts going across the bridge, but still the Shadow Race is not gonna be within reach, even the furthest one. Mid lane, we're having some visitors, and it's Youngji looking in for the Scythe setup, but he does not have enough mana for it. About 20 mana left remaining, and no heroes low enough for him just to rip their heart out. Of course, he's gonna go in for the good old Radiance build. You gotta amplify that farming. Meanwhile, Selfgate will finally get the target that he was looking for. And that's gonna be the poor old Rubik.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Regeneration.
Bottom side still pushed in. We're a half minute away
Are fortified.
from the Shrines of Wisdom. Top side, we're also
Dire's middle tower
seeing
is under
some
attack.
issues for Nemiga as Aion are looking to
Radiant
push
are
in,
scanning. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
but they still don't have the focus fire, even though this is quite a decent position if Retsu wants to just jump in for the shrine. But you don't want to throw yourself out there, even though the wind run is always a great ability to have.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But you'd better be safer than sorry. He's gonna TP out his back. Oh, back home there's some issues. Janter jumping in with the tombstone once again. He's gonna join in. They don't have the Requiem available as they do have the focus fire already. Self-hate. Oh, he could push the with the high ground. He's gonna miss out. He looked in for the deny, but it's not happening. Almost securing 2 Shrines of Wisdom, but successfully punishing Self-hate and Janter in the process. And as well, Young G, he's gonna be taken out. Good efforts from Aion. They may have allowed Nemiga to walk away with so far an easy laning stage, but the second they get together, the second they double down, somebody's about to die. Magnetize on one side, focus fire on the other side. And it's all about that pain train. And also it was a really good setup there because Selfie did not have the Requiem, even though he almost got safe by running in on high ground, but he was looking for a deny, he was looking for something, but he got none out of it. Meanwhile, around the runes, Invis rune taken by Cold Off within the cogs, Janter is residing. He already used up the Ceaseless Dirge, and he's gonna be forced to drop the tombstone into the backlines from high ground. Selfie, he is hitting, they're gonna get Cold Off with the scythe. Atomic, one more strike, it's gonna be 2 for 1, baby.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
6 over 5 so far. With Nemiga looking to siege down the mid lane tower.
Dire's
I mean, they gotta make things a little bit faster for Young G because if this Necro is forced to retreat and just AFK farm, it really would be bad about this. Self-hate. Falcon's Blade is complete. But he's still gonna need a lot more. They do need Kovis 9 for this. Who things have been really slow for him. Not necessarily dying, but just straight out being completely unfarmed. Tower. Ariel gets the final strike for the kill, but Cold Off and Excess Vampire are looking to punish a little bit more. He's got the Magnetized popped up to both of the supports. They are ticking. Tick tock, 1, 2. Good night. Both of them shall perish. As Young G, he's not gonna remain connected to them, but he's still deciding to stay strong and defend this tier 1 tower. As Retsu, he's lingering on the side and he's got the focus fire and ready to fire it up. And there he goes. And they're bringing in the army. First helm of the Dominator. Actually, oh yeah, the Lycan Wolf. I was like, wait, did they get 2 helms? That would be absolutely insane.
middle tower has fallen.
Rolling out.
Yeah. First tower dead and gone. Let's see how much damage they can do down bottom. Where Self-hate and Janter. Oh, they're hiding between the trees. Charging up. Oh, but they're gonna put him to a stop. The tombstone is also gonna get used up. But this is not a good setup. They were a little bit too fast here. Still, Atomic is gonna die. Janter, Scythe, upon Excess Vampire. They're gonna get a 1. But jumping back in. Well, self-hate, you cannot fight off the zombies like that. You actually need to fight him. 2-2.
Radiant's
Supports for supports, but self-hate's still in a bad spot, chasing down by the creeps. Thankfully, he's gonna convert them to money.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Whew, that was scary to be a Shadow Fiend for a second there. But he completely mistimed that. Oh boy.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
What ails you?
And of course, there's gotta be a pause at one point. Okay, thankfully it's gonna be a short one. Maybe it could have been a mistake, but I'm not sure how you can make an F9 by mistake. Young G. About 1,200 gold left for the Sacred Relic, which is gonna be of great assistance. Self-hate, I still have no idea how he survived the entire skirmish. Janter, meanwhile, he's trying to play zombies versus Zoo, but I don't think you want to mess with Takizawa here. I mean, this guy had proven to be absolutely insane. Takizawa dot 3-3, it could be 33 in disguise. Ovis 9. Still gonna need a lot of time to get that blink online. And he's actively scouted out. Atomic is just throwing the grenades. Every single time he's got the chance. Yep, he's still there. Yep, he's still there. We did our job. This guy never had a laning stage. And let's roll up our sleeves and see where we might find some other kills. Because they might be strong, they might be hyper impactful, and they might be dealing insane amounts of damage. But in reality, we know we're better than them. We got our picks, we got our stronger setup. Atomic, beautiful hook shot with the cogs, but it lands right into Self-Hate's face. He's gonna get stunned out and completely regrets the actions in the past 10 seconds. And they're looking for more, but actually it's gonna be Aion looking for more. Janter popping the flesh golem. Nemiga were not willing to take that fight, but they still threw Janter in the fire. I mean, maybe they're reminiscing of what was happening during game number 1 and they're just dragging back some confidence, but I don't know, this is not the way you win this. Aion, they're not gonna slow down with all of this aggression, and they're looking at Kovis 9 still earned up. Thankfully he's gonna survive, but X's Vampire, who is currently... I've never seen a Rubik Golem before. That is so freaking ugly. Holy, it's like a radioactive golem. Meanwhile, Ariel gets caught up. Yeah, I don't think you can do much here. I mean, even though we've seen Aion turn back a lot bigger of a disadvantage. But again, Nemiga, they have a very early draft and they have a completely disabled offlaner. I don't know, in all reality, it might have been better if Ariel were the offlaner here, but then you would have had to get something like, I don't know, something in range to complement the fact that he needs to stay in front line at all times, like a Viper or a Death Prophet. But those guys are not supports. They're gonna be offlaners instead. Atomic, once again with a jump. This time he gets self-hate, but where's the backup? Where's everybody else? He's gonna break out from the cogs, but still get locked up within the Magnetize. TPing out. I'm going home, guys. I don't want to linger here any longer. Young G eventually takes down Atomic. But Retsu, well, he's got his focus fire on to Young G. And actually they stole the tombstone.
Radiant's
Where is
bottom
it?
tower is
Yep,
under
there it
attack.
is. Nicely played out by Aion. They're gonna lose sight and the chance to take down Self-Hate, but they will take down Janter instead, who does not have the fast respawn right about now. And Cold Off, curious about the magnetized damage. Actually, it felt like a lot, but in reality it wasn't as much. It was mainly the Rubik with the Fate Bolts, with the Stolen Tombstones, with the Slithering Crush and everything. Just playing out Rubik, you gotta respect Rubik pickers first off, and second of all, you gotta bow before Grandmasters, because this guy, he knows the hero inside out, and with that granted, he knows every single spell in the game. Atomic, again for a jump, this time he's not gonna get it. They're bringing in the army, they're bringing whatever they can to keep up with the harassment. Look at these Wolfies! Just taking down Janter, once again growing Invis. Yeah, nice sentry, but we're still gonna keep on going, thankfully for him. Self-hate is around the corner. Oh god. And it's not gonna happen. And 12, 14 net worth for Aion. So far they are trading, but Aion, they're actively looking to push, and they've cleared up all tier 1s. They've been residing in Radiant Jungle for quite a while. But Nemiga, they're done waiting. We have our Radiances, we have our damage. We gotta show it now, because later is not an option. But question is, who might we find? The answer is Takizawa, instantly popping his transform, trying to run up, dancing around the tombstone, and they're not gonna get him with that first strike. Instead, it's gonna be his Wolfies, once again taking down Janter. Zoo versus Zombies, Zoo wins. Can they get more? Aerial, beautiful hookshot catch from the back. Cogs, oh, he wanted to charge out, but nope, he's gonna be put to a halt once again. Self-hate missing out on a golden opportunity for the Requiem. He's gonna go for it for a second time, pushing them out, but this time it's gonna be for the TP out back home. Self-hate, he does not have a chance to play this game. He does not have any frontlining heroes. He does not have anybody to do anything here.
Is under attack.
And this is so bad. Aion, they're breaking the meta with this draft. Kovis 9, he's gonna make the jump. Finally, they're gonna take down Excess Vampire, no Rubik. Maybe this is gonna give us a chance to play. Avalanche missing out, not hitting anybody. Takizawa, well, just a creep. The flag bearer is just there to wreak a little bit of havoc. But ultimately, Nemiga, they're walking away empty-handed after the Rubik takedown. Small trade-offs on both sides. I mean, this has been the standstill scenario for the past, well, 10 minutes, give or take. But slowly, Aion are climbing at an advantage because they've been able... Well, actually, it's been 5 minutes ago since they took down the last tower. How are the tier 2s looking? Very bad. Currently getting scraped, pretty much at full health.
Radiant are scanning.
Roche? Oh yeah, it is Roche time. Late scan, but they're gonna learn about Retsu's second life soon enough. He's nearing completion of the Dragonlance, which should turn into a Hurricane Pike soon. Meanwhile, ooh, we have Black Dragons in play. We have the Helm of the Overlord, ladies and gentlemen, and let's prove it to action. It's gonna be Kovis 9, who's gonna get burned down. Don't stand too close to the fire. Don't stand too close to those tier 1s, because somebody, he's gonna get taken down. And Kovis 9 was not your guy. Like, your offlaner is having the same net worth as the enemy support. And this is not good. He barely made the Blink Dagger, but Blink Dagger is great when you're able to initiate, when you're able to fight. This Blink Dagger arrived at almost 20 minutes. And it's not good. These guys are getting Tormentors, you're getting the Blink Dagger, and the list just goes on for what you need. I'm not sure if he's gonna go in for the Soul Ring. That would be just weird right now. But yeah, he needs the Shard, he needs the BKB Harpoon. Whew, that's a That's a pretty long story from this point of view. And yeah, Nemiga, they've been trying to facilitate whatever farm they can in the past couple of minutes, but again, I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to do anything about it. Maybe they can get an execution or two, but currently not like this. Not Young G. Not the Necro. And yeah. Anyways. They cannot do it. It's gonna be really tough. They don't have a frontliner. Tiny, maybe in some scenario they would have been able to play it out as mid. Maybe there was their primary idea at one point. But it never happened. Because you cannot fight against the Earth Spirit in that situation. Necro, he did have the upper hand during laning, but after laning it's a completely different story. Well, Spirit Vessel completed all the way. Kaya up and operational, he's gonna go for the Shivas. And oh, that's a catch, Retsu. But they're not gonna have it for long enough. That dragon is causing them so much trouble. Selfgate, can I convert this into farm? Maybe. Nope, you're not. And now smoke up from Nemiga, maybe, just maybe. Can you get this Rubik fast enough? Okay, that's one. That was a pretty easy chance. Maybe you can regain some of your lost territories. This outpost would be a great start, but again, you do have this deep vision. They know exactly where you are, they know exactly what you're doing. And they're just letting you fly just a little bit. Because they're still in... They still have a shopping list of their own, like I want to get my Hurricane Pike. I want to get my BKB, but ooh, he already has the Assault Cuirass. Okay, I haven't taken a look at Takizawa's items all day. I'm just... What? I just see the creeps, and I know, like, he's got the freaking small creep. Okay, it's still the small helm. Now is the helm of the Overlord, so we're seeing the big creeps. It's just absolutely insane. Yeah, he's gonna go for more. Nullifier with the BKB. How is Cold Off doing? Ooh, amplified damage run now. That's pretty big. Now that's definitely gonna hurt during the next team fight because again, Nemiga have no way of bringing a team fight whatsoever. Maybe they can have some sort of a high ground defense, but currently, Aion, they're not sieging. They're not bothered at all. Maybe they can find a pick off here and there. They already have, well, one more tier 2 tower remaining. "24 minutes in. It's 9k currently. And Aion, they're looking to close in the gap. They have their pikes, they have everything, but they don't have the Aegis anymore. Well, it's sad. But they did... What did they do in the past 5 minutes? I was just looking at farming at all times, because there was nothing, absolutely nothing happening. Kovis9 died, Young G died. They took a Tormentor, and they took some... They took 2 towers, but absolutely no fighting in between. Yeah, they lost Rubik for a split second there. You know? Atomic gets caught up. But he just hook shots away. Because aside from Ariel delivering the stun, there's nobody else. Ariel, meanwhile, gets taken down. Attempts for X's Vampire to be taken down, but the focus fire is going to be brought upon Kovis9 as he's gone. Cold off. Cold off. They find Young G. Here comes the army. You cannot blast through all of these people at the same time. And Takizawa, there's the raise, but... Well, there's the Requiem, but... It's only for the dragon. There's nobody else. Aion, they're not stopping. They're gonna keep on sieging. Magnetize, connecting on to 3 targets. Shekel, Janter, power shot, he's dead. Kovis9, buyback with the reinitiation, but... it's cool, but at the same time, again, the slaughter barely had any impact all game.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That's just so sad. 3 heroes dying, 1 forcing out a buyback. Magnetized damage, almost 3.5k. Really, really good stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna say it because I've been looking at chat during this farm fest, and it's really funny to the guy who doesn't realize that I'm Michael. I'm the person writing to you and I'm the person talking to you at the same time. I'm sorry that this is not clicking for you, but such is reality, and such is reality for Self-Hate here, who just gonna get caught up and get exploded. So yeah, just a little bit of banter to fill in the gaps, as this has been a very anticlimactic game with Aion just slowly getting advantages here and there. And it's been tough. I mean, Nemiga got completely outdrafted here. And at the same time, they got completely outplayed. And Aion, they've been on a learning curve since game number 1 that they lost in a very unfortunate fashion. Game number 2, definitely a turning point, and now we're looking at a complete reverse sweep. Yeah, still poses the question. The next Roche, which is gonna be right about now. Yeah, he's lingering down bottom. It is gonna be a very easy take for Aion, given this insane zoo that they're having. Like, Takizawa got taken down only once. And that's pretty much it. Since then, he's been having a very fun time. And I was feeling a little bad about him. Even though, I mean, he was actually first blood. And he never failed since that moment. It's like, I'm Lycan, I'm basically the second king of the jungle after the Beastmaster, so I just need to do my own bidding. These guys already underestimated me. Tiny, Ariel's got the Bling Dagger, Kovis 9. Well, he opted in for the Soul Ring regardless, as apparently he's in a very dire need of mana rather than anything else, but by the time we see anything more from him, BKBs or whatnot, this game could be over. Down bottom, Jenter shackled up to a tree. And of course, it's been the same scenario over and over again. Retsu find a target. He didn't even need to force out the focus fire for this one. Just one power shot with the well, he didn't even use the shackle. Well, the power shot, he's just a shackle. Roche screams in agony, screams in pain. Somebody save me, these guys are killing me once again. But nobody, absolutely nobody shall come to his help. As Retsu takes him down for a second time, they claim the Roche banner and the Aegis. Young G. No, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there, my friend. It's too late for you to farm for lotuses. You just set yourself out for doom. Okay, how desperate are you for taking this tower? Because I'm seeing 3 people dying at the same place all over and over again. And you're not the tower pusher. In this scenario, nobody is the tower pusher. He just gave them a free kill like that. Nemiga, they're mentally given up here. They have no chance of redemption. They have no chance for a team fight. Jenter is just actively harassed every single time he appears on the map. Ariel, I'm just happy to be here at this point. He got the Ghost Scepter to at least avoid some of the physical damage coming in from the Wind Ranger, but I mean, there's still a lot more things to offer here. You still need to worry about the Magnetize. You need to worry about a lot more things. And yeah, but death is at your door, as Retsu, he's standing strong with 3.5 minutes left remaining on the Aegis timer. This time they're not gonna pour it to waste, they're not gonna just farm out and pressure Nemiga, they're gonna go all in. Self-Hate, He reveals himself. They can commit for the jump, and Atomic will not even hesitate for a split second. He pops the BKB with the tombstone. They're looking at the high ground defense, but Selfcade, he's sieged down. He's absolutely dead. Retsu, he's just solo diving them one by one as no buybacks are left remaining. Takizawa finds Janter as times and times again. And there's the buyback from Ariel. They're looking for one more shot, one more chance, but it's gonna be Youngji thrown out into the fray just for that one kill. And Retsu is still alive and still hitting from the sidelines. Oh boy. In reality, they only removed the Rubik from the game, but Rubik was not even a half of a problem. They're gonna have to run off back home as the Magnetize keeps on popping. Mid lane completely cleared out. And one buyback committed for the defense. Two more buybacks are, well, locked on cooldown. The rest are monetarily bound. Retsu, the game loves him. The game just gave him a regen rune. That is so freaking nice. Yeah, he can just continue where he left off, and hello. How you doing, Kovis9? I haven't seen you all day. Shackle? Ooh, this time for the miss. Good stuff. But this is a very, very dire situation. I mean, it's a dire positive situation, not good one for Radiant, but it's... I don't know what to say here. I mean, they're trying, they're struggling. But I'm still looking. This larder was a really, really big mistake. They threw the game from the draft phase. And Youngji, he literally has his hands behind his back at all times. Ariel, not even. You have 2 units there. You had 2 freaking units, and you tossed the freaking creep. That was just. Yeah, they're mentally gone. They're not playing this game. They stopped playing this game 20 minutes ago, 25, okay? They threw Retsu back, but maybe you can take him down once. Can you take him down twice? As Takizawa, he's sieging in with the army. Retsu back, freshened up. Self-Hate looking to punish him, but he still has the BKB. He's gonna get the focus fire in about 10 seconds, so you'd better be careful if you want to venture out. But Atomic, oh, he's gonna jump up on high ground alongside with X's Vampire, cold up, setting things up for the Magnetize. They're popping. And they're not even able to take down the Rubik this time. Kovis9, Janter, rest of the crew being pushed back into the fountain. Ariel, he shall perish. And I think you should call it. Like, do us all a favor. Thank you very much, Self-Hate. It was a tough game number 3. And Aion, Team Aion, they're gonna deliver a full-blown reverse sweep for the series. Nicely done. Even this game number 3 was insanely boring, not gonna lie. It took them a while. It took them some farming time. But Aion, they crafted a draft and they were able to deliver with it. Nemiga, I guess they need to work things out from top to bottom. Reconfigure your drafts, rethink what you're gonna be picking, and then the delivery. Like, first off, you must never underestimate your enemies, never underestimate your opponents, as this is what happens when you do things as such, especially for newcomers. You might be the longer standing team, but you gotta stay alive long enough for you to get into the playoffs, and which unfortunately it is gonna be a 3 out of 5 serious loss for Nemiga, which might be bad, even though they're still, I think they're gonna have 7 points in total with this series as well, because they're indeed getting 1 point from going 2-1. But regardless, they might be struggling. As for us, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a little bit of a longer break until 6 o'clock CST, which is going to be in 2.5 hours from now, which means I will be taking down the stream, so my computer is not going to burn down from the heat, and we shall afterwards continue with Habibis and Baloo, and afterwards we have Team Spirit Academy versus Cheeky Bamboni. So thank you very much for sticking around for round number 1 of EPL Dota Season 39. I'm Michael Base Defender, and I will see you in about 2.5 hours.